my lines, check the spreads. When the distance, now we're dropping these locks. Just the boys in the will to cash big. So many times, it happens too fast. You trade your bankroll for glory. Don't lose your grip on the almanac pass. You must bet just to keep it alive. So the pick is in it, it's the thrill of the line. Dialing up to the challenge of the books, and the last known survivor starts his edge in the night. And he's watching us all. The pick is in. Face to face, out on the air, hanging tough, staying sharp. They stack the odds, still we take to the square for the win with the skill to survive. The pick is in, it's the thrill of the line. Dialing up to the challenge of the books, and the last known survivor stalks his edge in the night. And he's watching us all. The pick is in. The pick is in. Rising up, straight to the top, had the guts, got the units. When the distance, now we're not gonna stop. Just the boys and the will to survive. It's pick is in, pick is in, pick is in, pick is in. The pick is in, it's the thrill of the line. Rising up to the challenge of our rival, and the fix might be in, but we're calling it right. Haywood's almanac, Jonah, Snoop in the fight. Is the fix in? Is it all predetermined? Back to the future, future's looking certain. Tune in weekly for the picks and the laughs. Sports betting experts dropping knowledge on the path. The pick is in. The pick is in. The pick is in. The pick is in. Pick is in. Pick is in. Pick is in.
What is up? What up, everybody at home? This is your boy Haywood, and I'm the Almanac. Happy Thursday night. I am so blessed to be here. Another week of the Pick is In podcast. We have another great show lined up for you folks. We have the great Dr. Mason West of the Bare Bones podcast coming on our show to talk all things Chicago Bears and the NFL draft. But first, we're going to talk some NBA news, stories, NBA playoffs with the plans, and of course, our Phoenix Suns. I want to bring in my best friend. I am so blessed to have this guy here. He is my brother from another, the host of the Here's the Thing podcast, my brother, Snoop Von Pooh.
Good evening, sir.
What up, bro? How
How are
doing?
you?
Good to see you. No Espanol this time?
Sí, no más.
No mas. Yes. What up, brother? Cheers to you. What up, Snoop?
Cheers to you, sir.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to start right out and say you fucking jinxed us. Oops, I probably shouldn't have cursed in the first 30 seconds of the podcast. You put the Mallorca on our Phoenix Suns the other day with your post. We made the playoffs.
Well, you're right. I did jinx us. I kind of fucked up on that. You're totally right. I meant play-ins. That's what I meant. Thanks for correcting me, Snoop. But hey, we're still there. We got a game tomorrow, so we're gonna reverse that jinx, get a W tomorrow. But what up, Snoop? How's life? How you doing? How you feeling? And how's your podcast going?
It's going great. You know, it's like it's wild. I can't believe I get to talk to everybody that I get to talk to, man. It's a blessing every day.
Dude, you're
I'm
killing
just
it, man.
blessed to talk to you today, sir.
Hey, cheers to that. I'll drink to that too. Where can the folks find all your great people, Snoop?
You know, everywhere. I'm everywhere, baby. Look up Snoop Von Poop. But also, go to phoneboothpodcast.substack.com. The home of about, I don't know how many there is, 10, 9. I'm not even sure. Phone booth, Philosopher King. Here's the thing: Pick is in, Fasting Fake, Dualistic, Detoxing the Matrix, Translucid, Mind of Madness. I mean, there's so much shit on here. Like, this is all for free. You know, why are you paying Netflix all your hard-earned money when you can get all this great content for free? There's even a merch store. We got shirts and shit. Check that out.
Ooh, and rumors here. Pick is
And
in.
now
It's gonna have
I'll
a
just
soon.
I'll highlight this shirt right here, and I don't condone this type of behavior, but the rumor is if you buy this shirt, you get your choice of any other shirt for free. So let me know if you're interested.
Can't wait till we
But
get a shirt that drops soon, brother. Soon.
yeah, coming soon, coming soon. There will be a Pick is in shirt. So
Let's go.
we'll give you an update once that happens.
Awesome. You could find all of our other work on the Pick is In podcast on YouTube. Go show us some love out there. Snoop, I got that screen shared, I believe. Let's go ahead and share that one if you could. Yeah, go give us some love over on YouTube, folks. We hit the criteria. Now I just got to put out some more shorts to hit the criteria there. But go show us some support. Drop a sub, show some love every one of our episodes. And I believe this is episode 29, I believe, I want to say somewhere around there. So go check us out over there, and then go check us out over at Rumble as well. It's our newest platform. We need to get that one going, folks. We are able to stream there, so that's awesome. Over at Rumble at The Pick is In. Let's go drop us a follow over there. And cheers to all the subs at home.
Just all you DOMs out there too.
Yeah. Hey, Snoop. Let's get the subs. Let's get the subs. Look how I love
the
them.
DOMs. I mean,
And the DOMs too.
All right, take it to plus two.
All right. Before
Hey, look at our friend Templar's in the house. What's up, buddy?
What up, Templar? How you doing, brother? Thank you for all the support. Appreciate you. That guy's badass, by the way.
Dude, he's badass. I wonder if he'd come on the podcast. I'll ask him. He should.
Yeah.
Be fun.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he fucking watches sports. He may. I don't know. I think I asked him if he was a Bears fan, but I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Cheers, all the subs. Thank you, Templar. All the comments. If you guys want to drop any, let's get more people involved. If you got any questions, comments, even if it's smart ass or whatever the heck, get some more people up in here and let's drop some comments.
Look who else is
Oh, nice. Dr.
Doctor?
Mason West. I wonder if he's still, cheers to Doctor. I wonder if he's still streaming. He's got his pod right now.
Oh, that's why I can never catch it, because we're always podcasting when he's podcasting.
Right. Go show us some love. Go ahead and repost, like the show. That means an awful lot to us. Before we step into any news, I always start off with our betting recap for the week. I got that one shared up, Snoop, if you want to pull that up here. Your boy's in a slump. 3 weeks of no wins of winning bets. I am in a little slump, as Devin Booker needs to do. I need to be a little bit better. So, for the show's betting recap.
Wow.
Yeah. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But he does. He does have to be better. But so do I. So I'm going to take accountability, be very transparent. 11-5 on all legs, minus 70 bands. So since September, still sitting at 1,032 and 310 on all legs. Still up 25, almost 50. So show's doing all right. I got to get back on track. And bottom line is, I just got to be better. Bottom line. So let's rock. And that's for the show's betting recap.
Goes right into what I said at the beginning, bro. What'd I tell you? You put the malarkey.
Yeah. All right. Look who gave us a cheers in the comments.
Yes, sir. I did. What is up, Doctor?
Nice. It was great to have him on. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But thank you, Mason.
Dude, it's incredible how much knowledge that dude has. Like, it's impressive.
Very, very impressive. The time he puts into it, you can tell he loves it. He's very informative. Like, I don't have as much time as I used to be as deep as in the draft as I used to be, but this guy knows like almost every player in the draft. Like, he does his work. So very proud to have this guy on the pod. So good stuff for you guys. That's going to be coming up after we go through the news of NBA, Suns talk, and we're going to dive in a little bit of NFL before showing you that recording. So yeah, gotta love Mason. How'd you connect with him, by the way, Snoop, back in the winter?
Well, I won a. Well, I followed him. First of all, we followed each other, I believe, on Twitter and or X as it goes by now, and then I think he was doing a giveaway for a hat, and I won the hat, and so that's how like I kind of met him, and then I started seeing that he's a podcaster and a big Bear fan, so just made sense to hit him up.
Dude, great guy. Great
Yeah.
guy. Great guy,
Yeah.
dude. He's awesome. And some of his other co-hosts are very knowledgeable too. He's got like 2 or 3 guys or a couple other guys that come on the show. So good stuff. Good land, Snoop. Thank you for you. And hell, I'm not going to make it old, but cheers to Snoop Von freaking Poop.
Oh man,
man.
this is why I hate doing this podcast sometimes. Is because by the end of it, I'm fucking smashed. It's always cheers. It's always cheers.
Yeah, that's what we do.
But,
I mean,
there's probably not too much more to cheers about because of you, and our beloved sons losing.
right. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
And on top of that, my Miami Heat lost a heartbreaker too. It's been a rough week for Snoop.
It has. Let's dive into that, Snoop. So I got the score pulled up from the game the other night. The NBA play-ins are here. The first game of all the play-ins was Tuesday night with Snoop's Miami Heat versus the Charlotte Hornets. It was a home game for Charlotte. 1-point victory in overtime. And I watched this game. It was so freaking competitive. So much energy. It was a great game. I think the bottom line is just that home crowd being loud and, positive energy, and it was just hard to win there, man. They were loud as hell. It's just, when you got a crowd that's behind you, that's tenfold, it's tough. So I'm sorry, Snoop, for the Heat. That ends their season, but big things coming this off season, as we've talked about in the past, brother.
You know what? I'm so livid right now because of this LaMelo Ball character. And it's just unreal. His sloppiness took this win away from us. We should be in the playoffs. So
Talk about that.
Notice I put my cap on.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna wear a cap tonight, but just this gets me so fired up.
And what are you referring to? Do you have something for the folks you want to show?
Check this out. Have you seen this dirtiness? Do you see it? Look.
Whoa.
Grabs his ankle. Look. Another look. Oopsie. And then what? Bam is out for the rest of the game, sir. Ouch.
Yeah. That's pretty damn dirty.
Ugh.
Yeah. And if you like slowed it down, like when he put his arm out, you could tell his head's looking at him. Like, it was dirty. Even the coach, Spoelstra, said something about it. LaMelo, after the game, went to Bam in the locker room to try to make sure he was okay. So I got something I want to pull up here based off of that. LaMelo got fined for this, Snoop. Do you think this is a big enough fine for the ball?
35 G's.
35 Jeezys.
Man.
No suspension. So no, 25. That's 25. 25.
25.
So 25, 35 for the trip, and then looks like, does it say here that Bam was fined because he cursed post game? What the heck? That's crazy. That's crazy. But
no, that's is LaMelo saying that or Bam? It's very confusing. The NBA is fining Charlotte's LaMelo Ball $35,000 for his trip of Miami's Bam Adebayo and upgrading the action to a flagrant, plus fining him. So that's all on Ball. $60,000 flagrant, no suspension.
Damn, and that took some momentum out. He didn't play the rest of the game, man. So, sorry for the dude. Big things this summer for your Heat, Snoop. It's going to be a big off season for you guys for sure. Do we have some more comments?
I'm just, yeah, it's just upsetting, that a play like that, so dirty, can just, take out the whole season for a team, But, yeah, I'm not sure what this means. What's up, Tim? Shout out, Tim. Thanks for tuning in, bro. Can you guys please tell me I'm not crazy? I'm not sure Gil warrants a call out article all to himself. Is this a case of the national media, unnamed by the way, just not knowing what's going on? I don't know what that is.
Be a little more specific, more technical. I don't know what he means either, but thanks for
And
tuning
then
in.
and then also Tim, I can't I'm not able to open that link. I see you sent a link too, but I'm not able to open it from the studio here.
Something about Colin Gillespie. So, yeah, if you
Yeah.
can be in more detail on what you're talking about, we'll love to chat about it. And I appreciate chiming in. That's awesome. We're getting some people up on our comments. So going on to the next playing game, I got the, Snoop, did you show the score of the Heat game that I had posted? Shared up? Did we
Yeah.
show that? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. So the second playing game was the Magic and the Sixers. The Sixers won. Kind of crazy that they did. Magic just didn't show up in this game. So that was one score from the other night. And then I want to show this other score from last night. The Warriors won over the Clippers in the play-in. So the Warriors will be playing our Suns, which we'll get to tomorrow night here at Mortgage Matchup Center. Yeah, I was kind of surprised at this game. Kawhi didn't show up in the second half. Steph went off. So we'll definitely dive into that in a little bit. But that's the NBA playing games that's happening. And we do have a game that's in progress as well. Do we have a game? No, we don't. Excuse me. My bad. So I want to pull up the play-in tournament and how it looks as far as the bracket. Snoop, I'm not even on EV Mux. Am I good on the screen?
Yeah, you're good on the screen, sir. Get a second screen.
Yeah, you're totally right. So here's what the playoffs look like as far as the brackets, how they look, so on and so forth. Sorry again about your Heat, but playoffs kick off this weekend. Can't wait to get them going. It's going to be an exciting time. There's some very good matchups, but that's what the regular season came down to. This is what the brackets look like. We got some very intriguing matchups, in my opinion. I like the Lakers, Rockets, Nuggets, Timberwolves. As long as the Lakers can get healthy, the Cavs, Raptors should be fun. The Hawks have been tearing it up the last month. They're playing the Knicks, Celtics playing the Sixers, and so on and so forth. So, we didn't talk about the Suns, which we'll get into and the score on that, but they lost to the Blazers, so the Suns did not advance. It's a must-win for tomorrow night, and the Blazers did advance. So the Blazers are now in the 7th seed in the bracket playing the Spurs. Anything that strikes you, Snoop?
Yeah, you struck me with your silly expos the other day. Oh man. You know what? I'm looking forward to see how the Knicks play out from here. Honestly, since and you know if the Suns can, well, we're gonna get into that, but for the East, I'm gonna have to pull for the Knicks this year, I guess.
You did like them on a couple episodes ago. You did say
I do like the Knicks. Like they're a fun team. I like Bridges too a lot. So he's the Iron Man. Oh shit! Look at that.
the board.
Nice.
One of my
I didn't
favorite.
even know you were wearing that because I can't see that on the screen. I didn't know you were wearing Bridges jersey. You throwback jersey wearing motherfucker.
Yeah, I got a little bit. I got a few jerseys up in this biatch.
Here, I'll let you read Tim's comment. That's too much for me to read, Tim. So here you go, Haywood.
Let me blow this up full screen. See, Gillespie continues to put up underwhelming production, scoring. Scoring in the single digits. Man, my thing's acting up here. It's not working right. I can't freaking see
All
it.
right. Scoring in single digits for the 5th time in his past 6 appearances. While it has been a breakout season for Gillespie, much of his success came when other players were sidelined. With the team now mostly healthy, he has shifted back to a modest role. During his past 6 games, Gillespie has barely been a top 300 player, averaging 6.3 points, 1.8 assists, 1.3 pointers, and just 22 and a half minutes per game. Yeah, he's underwhelming right now. Maybe, I don't know.
100%. So one thing me and Snoop talked a little bit last night. After recording with Mason. Kamani, the rookie, not the rookie, but the guy we traded in the Ayton deal in Portland. He's lengthy. He picked up Gillespie 90 feet. And it was definitely a glaring weakness that the Suns were showing. We're not going to dive into it yet because I want to have a whole Suns segment. But yeah, he needs to play better. He needs to pick it up. He was a non-factor, and especially with him being a free agent this summer, if he keeps playing this way like he has the last couple of weeks, he's going to keep losing money. But thank you, Tim, for your comments and chime in. We really appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. That's awesome. But yeah, he needs to pick it up. Bottom line. And we'll do a dive into the Suns in a little bit after we get done with that, even though that's probably going to be one of our main topics. But Snoop, you have some news about the 65 game rule, correct?
Yeah, I got that. Hey, shout out Tim. What happened to your? You were supposed to start a cooking podcast, I believe, with your daughter, dude. What happened to that? Get it going, brah.
Do you know Tim? Do you know who that is?
Yeah. I know Tim.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Before we get into basketball, dude, I got one thing I want to bring up to you. I don't know if you saw this. I'm not a golf fan. I don't believe you are either. But this is pretty wild right here. I'm going to put it up on the screen here for everybody to see.
You wanted my natural reaction, so I'm going to pull it up full screen.
Yeah, please.
All right.
So check this out. Here's Roy McIlroy knocking a remote control golf ball away and throwing it in the pond in disgust at the Masters. He is pissed off because this would expose a lot of golf's magic. So check this out. This is wild.
You think this is a makeable bunker shot?
I don't know.
Oops,
Roy
sorry.
doesn't seem too happy with somebody. What's going on here?
Is there a remote control ball there?
Whoa.
Oh, and it's going to be hard to control it from the water.
Let's watch it again.
You think this is a makeable bunker shot?
I don't know. Roy doesn't seem too happy with somebody. What's going on here?
Is there a remote control ball there? Oh, and it's going to be hard to control it from.
What do you think about that?
Wow. That takes me back to our pilot episode on your podcast when we talked
Was it on
about.
my podcast?
Yeah, it was with me and Jonah. It was our very
I
first.
was gonna say, I remember talking about something, but I couldn't remember what podcast it was, dude. It's been so long.
It was on yours. It was on yours.
Oh,
It was but we talked about the fix being in magnets, chips, other things like funny business. That's freaking crazy. I did not see this. Whoa.
Dude,
Wow.
that's more crazier than the hockey ones, the football ones.
Yeah, that's nuts, dude. And that was this from the Masters this past weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, thank you so much, Foray. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, Foray. Cheers to all the people at home. Sorry, Snoop. Gotta get you a food bar before the end of the show. That's my goal.
Let me pour myself some more red drink.
That's nuts. We got to show Jonah that.
Yeah,
we got to.
he'll dig that one.
Right. That's freaking nuts. No, I did not see that. Thanks for showing that, Snoop. Let's dive into NBA, Snoop. What do you got? You got that 65 game appeal by a couple players, don't you?
Yeah, tell us what that's about. What's going on with that? I'll pull it up and you talk about what that is.
Yeah, pull it up for the people at home. I got a video to show right afterwards that explains it from Shams. So I think this came out today or earlier today. Is that something you're going to share or you want me to share it?
I'm going to share this. I mean, I just have the Shams tweet, so I'm just going to throw that up and then you can go into what it is. Just in, the NBA and NBA Players Association have ruled in favor of Lakers' Luka Doncic and Pistons' Cade Cunningham on their Extraordinary Circumstances Challenge for the 65-game award rule, making both eligible for all 2025-26 season honors such as MVP and all NBA teams, sources tell ESPN. So Shams put that out today. So
yeah, I got a video I would like to talk about what Shams talking about. Let me know when I'm good, Snoop.
go ahead, hit play.
All right, it's a couple minutes. Hang in there, folks, but it's well informed.
And we begin our show with with some awards news because Luka Doncic and Cade Cunningham, they're now eligible for MVP and All-NBA teams after their extraordinary circumstances challenge of the 65-game rule. It was approved by both the NBA and the Players Association earlier today. And we know what Luka thinks about this because he tweeted a lengthy statement. It says, "I am grateful to both the Players Association for advocating on my behalf and to the NBA for their fair decision. It was also important to me to be present for the birth of my daughter in December, and I appreciate Mark, Jeannie, Rob, JJ, and the entire Lakers organization for fully supporting me and allowing me to travel to be there. This season has been so special to me because of what my teammates and I have been able to accomplish, and I am honored to have the opportunity to be considered for the league's end-of-season awards." All right, our Shams Charania is here with much more on this. How did the league, Shams, come to the decision that they were going to grant these exceptions for both Cade and Luka here?
Look, this is a first for the NBA in terms of granting players the extraordinary circumstances challenge provision in this. And so the league and the players union essentially agreed that both Luka Doncic and Cade Cunningham had circumstances that rose to the level of them being able to now be eligible for All-NBA team and MVPs. In Luka Doncic's case, he missed 2 games in December with the birth of his daughter in Slovenia. In Cade Cunningham's case, he suffered a collapsed lung in mid-March. Luka Doncic played 64 games.
Yeah.
Cade Cunningham was eligible for 63. The argument for Cade Cunningham was this was a non-basketball related injury. I'm told that's what the Players Union argued with the NBA. But essentially how this goes is the NBPA filed this petition, this challenge on Monday. That gets taken to the NBA. The NBA can either say yay or nay. The NBA was in agreement on both of them. But where the issue lies is when there's not that yay, and that's when it gets taken to an arbitration and an independent hearing. And that's exactly what happened with Anthony Edwards. The petition was filed, that got advanced to a hearing, but in that hearing, he was actually denied. Anthony Edwards argued that he had a staph infection, I'm told, in December. And that could that be a non-basketball related injury? Could it be? That's what the argument was, but his did not rise to the level of being granted this exception, and his business manager gave me a statement today. Justin Holland told me in part essentially that while they agree with, and feel happy that the NBPA really advocated for him, as we see right there, Justin Holland tells me, for me personally, I'm a bit confused at the clemency for Cade, who missed time for something that happened on the court, and not Ant, who missed time for an infection, but ultimately, you already know Ant isn't tripping over it at all. He's more concerned about trying to play as many games as he can. And then in the playoffs, obviously try to win the championship.
You love when
Yeah, I mean, I it's an on the fence type thing for me. Like, I think, part of me says that, and I can't remember if this was in the rule book back then either. I used to read the rule books when I was a ball boy for the Suns. Like, they would give them to us, and I can't remember if it's a rule that, a non-basketball related injury. I mean, I feel like if you can't play, you can't play. You know what I mean? No matter what the injury is, as long as it's legitimate, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess a staph infection is legitimate. It's probably uncomfortable to play basketball in, I imagine. But,
You had to read a rule book when you were a Suns ball boy? That's freaking badass.
No. I was given one when I interned in the executive offices prior to being a ball boy. And so I had a couple of them. I had the rule books, I had the media guides. Like, I was given a bunch of shit for doing that. But ball boys didn't get one. Okay.
Well, I feel like if you're like 1 or 2 games shy of the criteria to make All NBA, and see your kid being, the birth of your kid, I feel like that's a pretty warranted, not excuse. And arguably one of the best players in the league. He was, one of the best players in the league the last couple of months. And Luka, he's currently hurt, got his treatment out in Spain. But I applaud the NBA for doing this. Luka deserves to be an All-NBA player. And this is coming from a guy that does not like Luka, as you recently known. I don't, but I can respect his game. And the guy balled out.
Is it that big a deal? Is it that big a deal, though? I guess if you have a chance to win MVP, but are any of those players legit going to be MVP? Maybe Luka if they win the championship.
I see what you mean. And then you gotta put this in play, for your contract. if you hit all NBA,
All
you
right.
get moved up. So with your salary cap,
It's all about stupid money. Never
is.
mind.
It is.
Next topic.
That's
Hey, shout out for Ray. She says, "No worries, I hate cricket." So I'm going. Oh man. Yeah, we should cover cricket sometime on the cast. What's up? Dude, Doctor Nick Wilcox says Adam Silver is as soft as Charmin.
that should be a sponsor for you, Snoop. Nick.
Dude, I
Nick.
already roll with the bidet company, dude. Shout out to Lux Bidet. Go to luxbidet.com. Use promo code Snoop. Get yourself I think it's 10% off. Tell them Snoop sent you.
It's charming. Good comment, Nick. Thank you for chiming in, brother. And cheers to Nick Wilcox.
Yeah. As soon
Love
as
that
the
guy.
players start crying and complaining, he bows to them. Well,
True.
I
Missing
wish you'd do something about that LaMelo Ball.
it.
I mean, dude, they should. I mean, legit, the team should probably be fine too. In that situation. Not just LaMelo for the trip like that. Hold these people responsible.
Right, accountability. Totally right. Great point, brother. Dude,
Yeah. Cheers, Nick.
my guy Nick. Love you, go. Love you, bro. I got something that's kind of up our alley that we talked about a while ago on the podcast. I want to bring it up if we could. Damon Jones is expected to plead guilty in a sports gambling case tied to the DOJ probe that led to 30 plus arrests, per Yahoo Sports. He was previously accused of profiting from rigged poker games and sharing non-public injury info on LeBron and Anthony Davis. Wow, wasn't this guy an ex-Heat player too, brother?
Maybe. Yeah, I think he was. And damn, dude, isn't this the fucking other guys wrapped up in this shit too?
Yeah. I'm not sure if you were on the show when we talked about this, but this, I think it might have been on one of our first NBA shows, but there's a whole spectrum that the world does not know about when it comes to this. They did a very good job covering this up.
What do you mean the world doesn't know about it? Everybody knows about it, but the fucking NBA, apparently.
Well, apparently, well, there's more to the LeBron story that's being let off in public, and we all know about LeBron's 2 cents on it, and personally, like you know what he's all about. But kind of crazy that the DOJ stepped in and this investigation. It's not cool what happened, and you're right, Snoop. Great point. The NBA is the only one that doesn't know, apparently.
Jeez
Ridiculous.
Louise. Well, it's the it's like I always say, it's the entertainment business. It's just the WWE wrapped up in a different fucking shirt.
So is Adam Silver going to be at WrestleMania this weekend? Is that what you're telling me?
Maybe.
You're right. It is. Well, when you look it up, it does say it's labeled as an entertainment company.
I'm not even going to read this comment.
Well, you missed that, Nick. We'd already talked about it. We had to get that out of the way. That's why Snoop's drink had to be refilled already. But I'm kind of intrigued at what's going to the fallout of all this, But like you said, you think it's rigged, and this is show it happens. There's shit that happens behind the scenes that
It's
makes
just
it
like that fucking remote control ball.
That's fucking nuts. I still can't believe that. That's crazy. Remote control. That's
I don't
nuts.
know. I don't even know why I watch sports sometimes. It's fun though. I enjoy it still. It's just like when wrestling's fake. It's like still fun to watch.
Don't tell me that. I'm still a kid about it.
It's not fun to watch wrestling. I'm just making a point.
Snoop, you have any other NBA news? Non-Suns?
Let me see. I might. What do I got in the old chamber here? Yeah, I do.
Oh.
Let's see this. Go ahead and read it. Oh, you can't probably read it, because you're blind.
Full screen.
So, if Bronny isn't a good player, explain this. Look at those numbers. He's doing better than Klay Thompson.
Got to bring some comedy relief to the show, Snoop. Love it. Love it.
Yeah. That's so funny.
All right.
You know what, dude? Are we going to talk more about Luka? Because I want
Go
to
ahead.
say something about Luca real quick.
Go
I
ahead.
think it's bullshit that he had to go to Spain because he went over there to get injections, and I'm assuming it's stem cell injections. And if that's what it is, cool. I'm all for it. Why the fuck can't we do it in the USA? You know, that's bullshit. You could fucking literally go in a boat just like into the ocean. You know, I can't remember how many miles it is. Like it's not even far, like 15 or something before you're in international waters, and you can have stem cell therapy.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like it's so stupid, you know, like it's fucking legit. Like people are having good results from doing that. It's no different than like this I think it's called PRP. Fuck, this would be a good question for Mason. You know, like I don't know, it's bullshit. I think, you know, he should have been able to get that treatment here in the States, you know.
Look, I want to say something to have your back. I love having you as a host for stuff like this. Yeah, people might think you might be a little vulgar or a little crass, but you make great fucking points when it comes down to it. Like straight up, this America should be able to get stem cell treatment, like straight up. And as you talked about last week with our Medicare system, it's just foobar, dude. You got great points, brother.
Yeah, go on.
So I got this video. We're going to dive into Phoenix Suns. This is going to be a pretty in-depth segment. I definitely got some takes on this, but I got this video that Amazon Prime made as a kind of like a hype video for our Suns because we made the plans this week. I'm going to go ahead and play that.
Go ahead.
An unexpected twilight came for last year's Suns. They failed to make the playoffs, or even the play-in for that matter. They parted ways with their coach, traded their superstar, and made some significant roster changes. The sun set on what was supposed to be a title contender. But nighttime brings a certain calm to the desert. The temperature cools, the landscape becomes clear.
We have an identity here in Phoenix now being lived out.
It's a time for activity. When the pack gathers. And the stars begin to burn at their brightest. Darkness is not an end. It is a time for preparation for what is coming over the horizon. Before the first hint of dawn. And if you were asleep while the work was being done, you better beware. Because when the suns rise in Phoenix, things can heat up quickly. And if you're not prepared for the shifting climate of the desert, you may have trouble making it out.
Pretty cool promo. So I'm going to roll right into the game. The Suns lost 114 to 110 the other night to the Portland Trailblazers. I got that shared up on the screen if we want to go ahead and share that, Snoop. Got the scoreboard with the score in the box cast. I'll go over here in 1 second here. Let me pull it up. So 114, 110. Deni Avila, look at his stat line, Snoop. 38 minutes, 41 points, 12 assists, 7 rebounds. It was arguably his best game of his career. This guy could have been a Sun a couple seasons ago, by the way. So go over the box score. We'll go over to our Suns, see where they lined up. Dylan Brooks ended up with 20. I want to talk about Mark Williams. So we started the game off pretty damn well in the first quarter. Mark Williams was getting bullied, getting pushed around. He was very ineffective. So that's what made us go small ball the rest of the game. So he did not have a very good game whatsoever. Jalen Green produced. Booker, I believe, only had, 16 at halftime. So he ended up like 5 or 6, I think 15 or 16 at halftime. He had like 5 or 6 points in the second half. But the Suns ended up losing. So it's all or nothing for tomorrow as they lost, like I said, 114 to 110. I got a couple takes from a couple of our local sports media guys that I look up to that I just want to quick show their takes. And then I want to talk about the game myself. Let me know when I'm good, Snoop.
Go ahead.
Real fast, this is my guy, Cameron Cox of 12 Sports. Shout out to him. Love this guy.
All right, Suns fans, let's talk about this for a second. This game makes me pretty frustrated. I see the comments on social media. It looks like Suns fans pretty frustrated too as well. Can't let that one slip away. Can't let that one slip away. Just like we've seen all year, Suns struggle in the fourth quarter. They struggle big time in the fourth quarter. One of the worst fourth quarter teams all season long. Up 11, 6 minutes to go. Up double digits, 5 minutes to go. And they let the Blazers just steal that one from them. They give it away. Basically, that's what happened.
We got to move on. It sucks.
Denny Avdia. Are you kidding me? Like, how many times is this guy just going to drive through the lane, untouched, freely, get to do whatever he wants, put a body on him, something? It's ridiculous to watch. And this image, like, it bugs me to my core to see this. I just don't understand why they don't have a rim protector on the basket in the final minutes, in the final seconds to get a rebound. Did Ray Allen not teach anybody anything about 12 years ago? Like, what's the deal?
No, I thought all night we really struggled to keep him out of the paint.
I think defensively letting, Denny get downhill and make plays and score and get in our paint, and me missing 5 free throws.
I saw there was some ref talk after the game. Refs didn't decide this game, not whatsoever. Suns needed to play better. They needed to close that game. And also, Devin Booker needs to make some free throws. I also have an issue with Devin Booker passed off that last shot. Like, he's the guy. Shoot it. Make a play. I don't care if Jalen Green has 70. Book is the guy.
Coach talked about you making the right play to find Jalen there.
He had it going the whole night. I mean, I can take that shot too and force overtime, but, I seen Drew sleeping a little bit and Jalen shifted to open space.
So their postseason hopes, playoff hopes, whatever you want to call it, still alive. It'll now come down to Friday night here in the Valley. Plain and simple. They're either going to face Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers or the Warriors and Steph Curry. Winner of that game Friday night goes on to face OKC. Game 1 of that series is Sunday at 12.
All right, I've had enough. I'm shutting that guy down. I'm tired of he's depressing me.
Yeah, he is.
And so is Nick Wilcox, man. Listen, I know. Hey, but listen, shout out to Devin Booker for taking responsibility too. It wasn't in that clip, but he also said, "Hey, I missed 5 free throws during the game." So
he did. He held himself accountable. Booker did not perform. I'll get in that in 1 second. I got one more clip before I want to go into my take. The great John Gabadora of Arizona Sports here in the Valley, somebody I look up to. He's the godfather of Arizona Sports. He had a great take as well. Let me know when I'm good, Snoop.
Go ahead.
Nobody's scared of Devin Booker. No team is scared. Oh, my God, we got to stop Book. Nobody comes in and like, oh, my God, we have to stop Book. We were scared of Danny Advia last night. Portland wasn't scared of Devin Booker, especially in the fourth quarter because he disappears in the fourth quarter. Everybody wants to say, oh, he makes the right play. He makes the right play. Baloney. Make a basket. Make a basket. Double teams, traps. Look, they weren't even doing that. I mean, he wasn't doubled or trapped. There was Kamara on him on the final basket. They didn't double him and trap him, try to get the ball. They let him drive. He kicked it back out.
Now I know why Gambo had his pills in the car with him. Now I know why he walked into work today with them in his hand. I can understand.
Nobody's scared of Devin Booker. No team.
So, just quick little takes from two guys I look up to. I want to talk about this game for a few minutes, man. I talked to Snoop last night, and I was really pissed. I was still mad about the game, and I've definitely calmed down and reflected on the game. But I want to talk about it a little bit. So, Snoop, you said this last summer. I've been saying it all year. Not having a true point guard showed its face the other night. Straight up. To go to Tim's comment earlier with Gillespie, I think they made an adjustment. What was it? Towards the middle of the first quarter, they started picking up our guards full court, 90 feet, especially Kamani, the ex-Sun that was traded for, with that Aiden trade, started picking us up 90 feet. And Colin was just handcuffed, dude. He couldn't do anything. Like, it's just Portland's length was too much for us. And the big man Williams getting manhandled in the first quarter made us go small. And we didn't play any of our younger guys. Our coach did not play the depth that he had, which is a little bit surprising. I expected at least a few minutes for some of the young guys. These guys were playing good the last few weeks. You got to play them. So a couple things I want to point out. I think we got out-coached straight up. There was no adjustments by our coach, like at all, especially when it comes to Avila in the second half. How many times are you going to get to the rim, like in a row and go off and not adjust? Like, he got layups all the time. He went off in the second half. He had the best game of his career. We didn't adapt. We didn't double team. The lineups we were playing were freaking soft. This is an issue I've seen the last few weeks, which I haven't really talked about. I still love my Suns. I still think we had a successful season. I still love our coach, but I don't like what I've been seeing the last few weeks as far as our lineups. And we definitely need to get a floor general in the offseason. So, Snoop, you're right about that. And I've never talked bad about my favorite player, Devin Booker, but I'm going to talk bad about him right now.
He's
Not
getting
a
a
bad
lot of
way.
hate right now. He's getting a lot of hate online, and I feel sorry for him.
He is.
I don't think it's deserved, but
he didn't perform. He missed five. He missed 5 free throws in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
He didn't even have 1 assist in the fourth quarter. That's one thing I question. You're supposed to be the superstar, and I've always backed him, always. But he needs to be better.
he needs to be legendary. He says it himself.
He needs to be. He just needs to be better, straight up. And so does our coach.
Well, you know what? I want to say something else, dude. You know, along the lines of that 65-game rule of players being eligible for awards, if a team doesn't play together for 65 games, they shouldn't be able to win a championship, quite honestly. And that I think that's part of the problem with the Suns this year is that, you know, there were so many injuries where they didn't get to really play together. You know what I mean? Somebody was always out. You know, and Mark Williams, let's fucking count this dude out because, you know, he underperformed. You know, he was a gamble and he's fragile as fuck. That dude can't stay off the bench. He's on the bench more than Laz. Shout out to fucking Laz Molnar. Check out the Translucid podcast. I said it right that time too. What?
Laz just trademark Ride the Pine.
Yeah. 46. I'm gonna clip it for you. Laszlo.
But you're totally right. Williams was a no-show at all, and that's why we went small. It affected us, and our coach just didn't make any adjustments. That game made me.
Still had a great season.
He did, especially the last couple months. I've never really been mad about my team all year except this game. I was very upset.
You know,
about it.
like I blamed you at the very beginning. It's your fault. You know, you put
Blame Haywood, and can I get some trumpets or some booze? Snoop.
Oh yeah, let me, dude. I'm gonna download the fucking sound if I don't have it. Ugh.
100% Snoop. 100%. So you know,
you should go while we're online right now. Share your screen. Go delete that tweet. Maybe we have a chance tomorrow.
You want me to delete it?
Yeah.
All right, I'll do it if you tell me. You like?
Yes. You're the superstitious one, not me.
You're right. No, you're right. So you were talking about Booker and the missed free throws and being accountable. I got a quick clip of him after the game actually talking about that. So that's awesome. You talked about.
I think defensively letting, Danny get downhill and make plays and score and get in our paint and me missing 5 free throws.
Yeah. And then I got some more about that post-game interview from my guy, Dwayne Rankin, one of the best guys that covers the Suns. Let me know when I'm good, Snoop.
Go for it.
Okay, I was going to ask you about the foul shooting. You're an 87% career free throw shooter. That would seem hard to explain. Do you have any idea what happened there?
Once you miss a couple, I think it just becomes a mental game.
They turn the magnet off.
Thinking something that
Hey, remote control.
Look, you guys had a lot of great shot making in the first half. Were those just shots not going in the last 6 or 7 minutes, or did you see like the quality of possession going down with that?
You said the last 6 minutes?
Yeah. Did you like the looks you guys were getting there, or?
I'd have to look at it back. And, I think we only made 9 threes on the night to a team that they kind of force you into the mid-range game, and I think we could have got more threes up overall as a group.
What did you see from Jalen tonight, just navigating pick and roll that can carry over to Friday and beyond?
Yeah, he was scoring all over the court. He was getting in the Tiegler defense and being patient about it, and knocking down tough shots. He carried us well tonight.
One more, Wendy.
Hi, Book. I asked Jordan pregame about maintaining that intensity and playing throughout, with that intensity throughout all 4 quarters of the game. Of course, you guys did that. Then the fourth quarter came. How do you guys just kind of prepare yourselves as players away from the coaches to continue to just play on all 4 quarters without those little hiccups towards the end?
Yeah, I mean, that's been the story of the end of our season so far, and I think we just need to remain aggressive. I think we get a little lead and kind of slow down a little bit, and that's not what got us the lead in the first place. So just continue to play the next action and continue to play faster.
Snoop, I want to hear your take on what Books had to say. I know you mentioned a little bit about it, but talk about it for a minute.
The only thing that really stood out to me, I kind of drifted off because that was so long of a fucking video. But the thing about missing the 5 free throws, he's 87%, the one reporter said, and it is odd that he missed 5 free throws. I know that I'm better than that. I'm not going to
I can
miss
vouch for
5
that.
free throws.
Folks, he ain't lying. He is not lying. Snoop can make probably at least 4 out of 5 free throws every single time.
I'm making 9 out of 10 every time.
Right, but go ahead, brother.
So you can't, like I said, you can't put it all on Book. There's Jalen Green was out most of the season. Mark Williams is out most of the season. Gillespie is underwhelming. They need a true point guard. There's a lot more pieces to the puzzle than just, Book being the one to put the blame on. They had a great season. They did better than everybody expected them to be. And you know what? Hey, they're fucking still in it. Let's not fucking say, be all down. They still have a chance tomorrow, unless this guy messed it up for the world. But, we'll see.
All right. So, yeah, I had more time to reflect on it. We're still in it. Great point. Let's not throw Book off the ship. He's our guy. I still back him. And so
it could be the Kardashian curse. Who knows? It is what it is. I fucking hate that Caleb Williams was just out with the fucking Kardashians, but
All right. Which we asked.
I'm not worried about the Bears. I'm not worried about the Bears. They're going to be fine, right?
Right. Yeah, we're not out of it. We still could do something. We're not done. I'm not going to give up on Booker. This should fuel him. I got a lot of love for that guy, and I know he hasn't in to bring the best out of himself, but he just needs to be better, as I said earlier. He needs to be better, and so does Coach Jordan. And you're right. There's many things, many pieces of the puzzle of, this has been a good season, man. It just has. Even if they lose tomorrow night, it has. It's been successful. Nobody thought they would do this, even make the playoffs. How do you lose 2 arguably Hall of Famers, one of them being KD, one of the best players ever, and Bradley Beal, and get better? We did,
You're fucking out of your mind.
Well, I personally don't.
You just call Bradley Beal a Hall of Famer.
Well, 5 years ago, you probably would have said that, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but his numbers might say differently.
No, come on.
Borderline. Okay, let me take that back. KD, one of the best players ever, according to Carter.
Probably,
What was it? What was the greatest player list that we did with Carter? KD was 12th on this AI. Like, how do you take the 12th best player?
Hall of Famer.
How do you take one of the best players of all time off your team and get better? This team.
He's the cancer of the clubhouse. I get the move. No offense, KD. Go ahead, retweet me. I dare you.
I double dog dare you.
You know what I'm saying? He went to Golden State. Golden State was already a championship team. Yes, he got MVP while he was there. He played great. He's a hell of a ball player. I'm not trying to knock him as a player. But if you have a bad attitude, you're not a team player.
All right.
Make the people around you better, and he doesn't do that.
Totally right. He doesn't make. You're totally right. So let's move forward. I got something shared up on the screen. So tomorrow night we play Golden State here in Phoenix at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Huge game. So all you Phoenix Suns fans out there, show up, shell out. Let's get the mojo going. Let's get a win tomorrow. Tomorrow is a very big day for our Suns. And in the season series, we are 1-3 against Golden State this year. 1-3. Now, Green has not played any of these 4 games this year against Golden State. Booker was out one of these games, and Brooks was out, I believe, 2 of these games. So, what's your thoughts on the matchup with Golden State, even though they're not fully healthy with Butler out for the season and there are other injuries they have? What's your thoughts in a nutshell?
Who else is out for them? You know, off the top of your head? You don't need to pull it up, but is Green out?
No, Green's playing. Green's playing.
Yeah, I mean, bro, you know what? I think Tim might have a point, dude. I think Gillespie might be the deciding factor in the game.
100%. Yeah, actually. Yeah, they have since he's one of the best shooters of all time, if not the best shooter of all time, it's going to be tough. But
you know what? He needs to channel his inner Kevin Johnson. Let's see his Johnson tomorrow night. Clip it, Laz.
Clip it, Laz.
They'll send it to Vince.
Yeah, no shit. Big game tomorrow. I still like our chances of winning. Now, we win, we advance. We're going to face OKC. I don't even think we're going to get a game on them, honestly, if any one. But it's going to be a good experience for this team moving forward. In order to beat the man, or be the man, you must beat the man. So it's going to make us better, I think, later. I think it's going to go a longer way in our bigger picture because this offseason is pretty big for us too. So tomorrow night, folks, 7 o'clock, go Suns, support them. And I wish we had a Shazam. I got to work on that. Let's give our Suns a cheers anyways and a applause, Snoop.
God, here we go again with it.
That's right.
Cheers. Actually, I got the Shazam clip. I just haven't uploaded it yet.
Oh, shit. Okay. For y'all don't know, the great Al McCoy had a saying called Shazam. Something very, very memorable and personal for me and Snoop when it comes to Al McCoy. But yeah, tomorrow night, big game. That's all I got for NBA and Suns news. You got anything else, Snoop?
I don't think so, brah.
All right, so we're going to dive into a little bit of NFL news before we show the folks at home our awesome recording with Mason and discussions that we had with him.
Put some respect on his name. You call him
Dr. Mason West. Doctor. There you go, Snoop.
Go on.
I got something I want to pull up here as far as regards to the NFL. The NFL draft is next week, folks, and we talked about Dexter Lawrence briefly last week and with our upcoming guest that we're about to show you. The Giants have had productive conversations with the standout defensive lineman as the agent and him try to find a resolution following his recent trade request. So that's something to look out for as well.
You said WeQuest.
Okay, retards. And in other news, the great Devon Achane, who was not present for the start of team's voluntary off-season workout program last week, was spotted at Dolphins training facility today per sources. It is believed that Achane showed up as a sign of good faith as the two sides continue discussing a contract extension. So rumors have it, he's upset with his money. He wants a new deal, and there's been rumors of him holding out. So especially for your fantasy football players at home. And the Dolphins have made it very clear he is not available for trade. So hopefully they get a deal done because he's an exciting player. And then in other news as well, we had a trade in the NFL between the Packers and the Eagles. The Packers traded Wicks, receiver, to the Eagles, basically in a nutshell, for a 5th-round draft pick, it looks like, and a 6th-round draft pick. I signed a 1-year, $12.5 million extension as well. This is probably going to roll in effect for A.J. Brown. There's tons of rumors of him being dealt on draft day. Actually, from what I heard, the deal is done between him and the Patriots. It's just going to be done on draft day. So something to look out for there as we got the NFL draft 1 week from tonight. And then in other NFL news, we talked about this a couple times on the podcast. So the NFL informed clubs today that the league's officiating staff has begun onboarding potential replacement officials and will conduct training sessions next month in preparation for assigning the officials to off-season practices starting June 1st, according to a memo obtained by NFL Network. Several officials have already completed required background checks and will soon be given physical exams. The league reiterated in the memo that it remains committed to reaching a fair and reasonable agreement with the NFL Referees Association, but will be fully prepared should the current agreement expire. And then, Snoop, you there?
Yep.
Okay, and then one more thing of news, unless you want to talk about a couple of the things I brought up, but this is very sad to me. The great Dave McGinnis passed. He was a Cardinals coach back in the day, coached a couple other teams as well. I met this guy when I was a kid, and he left a great impression on me. Made me feel awesome. Every story I've heard about Dave McGinnis is a classic one. The guy is just a loving, caring person. Just give you an idea, if you ever gave him your phone number, he saved it and reached out to you every birthday. His phone was had 3,800 contacts saved in his phone, just to show you what type of love this guy had. So I want to do.
What'd you do? Hack the guy's phone? Jesus.
No. Just Dave McGinnis. You ever heard of him, Snoop?
The name rings a bell. Yeah, I mean, being around Arizona for a long time, sure, I know the name.
Yeah. So he coached. He actually told Pat Tillman to go fight the war in Afghanistan after signing.
So it's his fault, huh?
Well,
it just goes to show you, it's not always good to take advice from people.
He was asking him what he was just his advice on it, but he was a great coach. Not like wins and losses as far as that, but just heart. The players loved playing for him, and I still remember the interaction I had when I met him. So, as far as NFL news, that's what I got. Snoop, you have any comments or things you want to talk about with the NFL, or things I brought up?
No, I mean, I think I'm pretty good. I'm excited, to see next week the draft. It'd be interesting. So
that's right. And I got here. I'll pull up another thing here. So before we go,
I mean, I'm sorry that the Packers had to lose a receiver. I hate to see them lose a piece.
You absolutely love that. So we're about to show you the recording with Dr. Mason West. We're not going to be coming back to the pod, so this is going to be our last time you see us live. So next week is the NFL draft.
Come back after the video if you want. Fuck it.
All right,
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
All right. So next week we got the NFL draft, and then we're going to be, in a nutshell, we're going to be recording during it. So it's going to be exciting, and we have. Let me see if I can pull it up. I made that. There we go. Excuse me.
Please.
Sorry. So next week,
come to the podcast prepared, would you, guy?
No, right? I know. That's my first time doing it. Sorry. Rookie. So next week, we're going to be streaming live during the NFL draft. As my great mentor told me, you don't announce who your guest is until you're done recording. So, but who
the fuck Wiseman said that?
My boy, Snoop Von Poop. So I got a special guest lined up for next week. Hopefully everything goes through. So, hey, next Thursday, tune in. You're going to want to. This guy's a major guest, somebody I look up to in the industry. So I'm not going to tell you who it is, but we're going to record with him Tuesday night. So next week, check the Pick Is In podcast as we go NFL Draft 2026. And the draft is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
That's correct.
That's right.
They call it Three Rivers.
That's right. Snoop, anything else you want to talk about, or that you want to get into?
We'll close it up after the interview. Let's get into the interview, unless you want to talk about the draft a little bit. Like you got something to say about the draft, because I mean, we pretty much talk about that in the video here. So,
I got some takes, but I'll save them for afterwards or for next week. But folks, this is the second time we had Dr. Mason West on. He is the co-host of the Bare Bones podcast, physical therapist who covers the Bears really, really well. Like, this guy knows his stuff. For a nerd like me to be kind of blown away with some of the information he gives out tells you.
He's right. He's a big old nerd.
Yeah,
listen, let's be honest. All doctors are a little bit nerdy. I mean,
True. And this doctor plays a little bit of fantasy football. That's awesome. That's awesome. But Snoop, thank you for connecting me with this guy. This guy's awesome. We're going to have him on later in the year before football to do a little season preview for your Bears. I know that resonates at home, so bear down for all you Bears fans.
I'll cheers to that.
Yeah, that's right.
Anytime I hear some Bears love, I'm in. Also, that's not gay, Vince, so it's not a shout out.
Vince will never watch this. Vince will never watch.
I'm gonna clip that and send it to him.
Do it. So, so folks, don't go away. Apparently, we're going to come back after the Dr. Mason West recording. Snoop, how long is it? Like an hour and 15
We'll
minutes?
see you in an hour and 27 minutes.
Ooh, so cheers, everybody at home. Stick around, enjoy the interview, and love you guys.
We'll see you in a bit.
Welcome to the Pick Us In podcast. I got my boy Snoop with me, and we have a great guest coming back for a second time on this podcast. Cheers to you, the great Dr. Mason West.
Cheers, y'all. Happy to be back.
Hello, doctor.
What's up, Mason? How's life? How did the move go? Did you move? And how's the family?
You know what? Life's good. It's busy. As some may know who were listening the last time, I'm the clinic director of a sports performance and physical therapy clinic in Chicago. So good and bad. I mean, people are always going to be hurt. So I'm going to always have a job. But it really is a blessing to be able to help people get back to what they care about. Especially I'm in the West Loop of Chicago. So it's a really young, vibrant area. You know, I get to work with all these individuals who are, their goals are everything from like marathons to pick up basketball, all that stuff. And a couple college professional athletes as well that grace my schedule. So, and as a clinic director, I try to always, lead from the front. So my schedule is packed. But it's fun. It's good times. And then of course I get to do this on the side. And this is one of my favorite times of the year. I mean, you'd think it'd be the actual season, but getting to dive into the prospects and who will get drafted where and all that it's just a really cool, fun time.
Did you move? Didn't you move? You talked about moving last time.
No, I'm still here. No, I'm in Forest Park, locked and loaded.
Okay. Now, welcome back, man. We had a blast having you on that first time. What was it, Super Bowl week you were on, I believe, and had a great conversation with you. So glad to have you back. Snoop, appreciate the connection with Mason. I like your background, Snoop. Did you notice that, Mason?
Thank you.
I did. It's I don't know what's better, the hat or the background, because both are just giving off just sexy drip vibes.
That's right. That's how I roll, baby. Sexy drip vibe a day.
Well, speaking of, Snoop, show the folks at home your hat like you did last time. Was that his Bare Bones podcast? Mason West is the co-host of. I want to give you a plug real quick, Mason. I got your YouTube page pulled up here. Go check out all you Bears fans out there. He's very informative. When it comes to stuff. I mean, I've been watching mock drafts the last couple shows on this on your podcast, brother, and you're very knowledgeable. So, I mean, he literally every player in the draft, I'm sure he could probably name a good chunk of them, but go check him out at CHI Bare Bones on YouTube. Go give him a subscribe. Just want to plug you real quick. And then on X, you're at West Sports PT on Twitter. Go give this guy a follow. He's a very knowledgeable and very nice human being. I'm glad I connected with you. So I just want to give you a plug real quick, brother. And go give him a follow, everybody. He, especially you Bears fans at home. We're going to be releasing this the week before the draft. So we're going to be diving into NFL draft talk. We're going to be diving into Chicago Bears talks for the offseason. But talk about a little bit about your show, and you're independent now, aren't you?
Yeah, so we used to be a part of another group, and it just was time for a split. So it's just me and my co-host Danny Meehan over there at Bare Bones. We're starting to grow that channel again. It's funny how, and I'm sure y'all can appreciate this, where followers come from, subscribers, and all that stuff. Where we had a bunch of people that would listen to us on a weekly basis when we were a part of that other group. And then we move over and do sort of our own thing. And it's funny how only a certain percentage immediately follow back over, because it's just like where the ease of things are, right? Like you're subscribed to one channel and all of your content's there versus, man, I got to subscribe to something else. It's funny how that shift works. But I mean, honestly, it's been great for us. It gives us more freedom to do stuff that we want to do. We don't have to check with anybody. Biggest thing. So the podcast started I mean, I started with another group, actually, Chicago Audible, and they brought me in just because of my injury knowledge. So that's where like really bare bones started too, was the idea of being able to talk about, player A strains his hamstring and what does that really mean, right? Why does this person's hamstring take longer than that one? I've had to do a lot of talking this offseason. Bears left tackle Ozzy Trapillo tore his patellar tendon, so people are very confused to like why.
And that's in the foot, right?
In the knee.
In the knee. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that,
patella sounds like patella. Like what's the thing in the foot?
the Achilles in the foot.
Well, no.
Achilles? Fasciitis?
Because they would, plantar. Oh, a plantar. That's it.
Oh, you're talking about the plantar fascia.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Because I had a plantar issue in my foot. I actually had to have open surgery on my foot, only to discover that there was nothing wrong with it. Like there was like nerve damage, and so like there's nothing they could do with it. But they thought it was like a plantar tear or something.
It's pretty. I know this is not necessarily why I'm here, but I can't help but talk about this. It's really surprising. Plantar fasciitis is one of those ones that's such a misunderstood and honestly poorly diagnosed issue where people talk about, oh, it's the plantar fascia and it's inflamed. And I mean, a lot of times there's actually this little tiny artery that can get impinged upon, and then you actually get necrosis or death of a bone. And so you have to actually get the artery to improve in order to get pain relief. You mentioned the nerve. It could be something coming either directly from an ankle impingement that's causing a nerve issue. It could be coming all the way from the back. And then you have all these people who are doing cortisone injections and surgeries and just so many times those can be avoided if you can actually identify something higher up the chain. So, and that's one of the things I like to do on the show, right? It's having that conversation about why these things happen, the timelines for things, because it's really not understood. It's a space that I don't think is filled very well. And I try to do it as much as I can for the NFL as a whole, but obviously for the Bears specifically. And then we do previews for the games each week. And then we'll also now in the off season, we do our mock drafts. And we always like to hope these conversations can be for the greater NFL audience as well. Like, yes, I might talk about Keldrick Falk for the Bears specifically and how he fits, but that doesn't mean that information is not relevant for the Eagles, right? Another team that could be a Keldrick Falk team. So, really, it's a very Bears centric show, but it's definitely one that if you're playing the Bears that week, or if you just have an interest in the sports science space, it's a good show for that.
That's awesome to know that you're, that when it comes to injuries, that probably helps you as far as like delivering information to the people, better breakdown of like why, when, how, why, like all kinds of questions with it. How long have you been a physical therapist?
Man, I always forget this dang number. I always got to do the math. I have now been a PT, I believe it's like 8 years.
Okay. Well, you're still only the first and only doctors to still be on the Pickism podcast. So welcome back, brother. Welcome back. Had an absolute blast, like I said last time. Jonah does football with us during the NFL season. So we got Snoop taking over with NBA, and now we got a little bit of NFL draft coverage the next couple weeks. So excited to have you here. Snoop, you have anything you want to talk about before we dive into anything?
I mean, let's just dive into it. Like there's a 1,000 things I could ask this guy, like I want to talk about doctor shit more than I want to talk about football. Well, but let's get into some draft stuff,
Let's how about this? Let's do off-season moves and transactions, and then we'll go on to the draft stuff. I know last time you were on, Doctor, we talked about the upcoming offseason, about what you guys were entailing. And I believe, it was like Super Bowl week that we're talking. We're talking about cap, free agents to be, what they need to do, DJ Moore, which we'll get into. I got a page here that I basically got all your transactions pulled up for since we saw you last time. You don't have to go through every one of them, but I want to pick your head and have you give to the people about what you guys did in the offseason. Talk about a couple of these transactions, Mason.
Yeah. So, I mean, just starting with people that left first, right? What were the holes that were created? We can always dive in a little deeper, but obviously one of the biggest ones is just DJ Moore was traded to the Buffalo Bills. That it was one where I remember when we talked about it, it was kind of a divisive conversation, especially in the Bears world, because you have so many people who are attached to DJ Moore for a variety of reasons. A little bit of he was one of the better wide receivers that the Bears have had, in recent history, whether it was like the contract he got, whether it was some of the plays he had specifically last year. I mean, he had a handful, probably at least I could come up with 4 off the top of my head plays that I'm gonna remember forever. And actually, Bill Zimmerman, if you look him up on Twitter, he did a March Madness bracket of Bears plays from last year, and DJ had like 4 of them, right? And like two of them made it to the Final Four. And it was hard for a lot of Bears fans to separate the emotional part with the logical part, and we talked about this, just unfortunately, when you're a guy who essentially, yes, he's got big plays, but really going forward is probably your wide receiver 3, pass catcher 4. You can't pay him that amount of money. And the fact that Ryan Poles got a 2nd round pick out of that situation, I think is huge, especially in this upcoming draft, where the strength of the draft really, I think, lies in picks like 40 through 80 or give or take. So the fact that you have another pick there. So DJ Moore is one of the biggest ones. And then, there's a couple other ones that really are going to shift what this team looks like. I mean, Tremaine Edmonds got released. You have Drew Dahlman, your starting center that you signed this last offseason. He retires and leaves a gaping hole in the middle because he did so much for that offense and for Caleb Williams in particular. You lose every single one of your safeties. Like literally every single one when took free agency. Jaquan Brisker, who signed with the Steelers. Kevin Byard, who signed with the Patriots.
That was the most heartbreaking one for me, was Brisker, man. I love Brisker so much, man. Shout out to Kwani B, baby. Come back to Chicago.
And Brisker was just that tough one, right? Where good, not great. If you're being totally,
I feel like if he wouldn't have got that concussion, I feel like he would have been the great.
The injuries, right? It's particularly the concussion, right? And he was healthy last year. It wasn't like he got concussed last year, but
didn't he have 2 concussions in a month or something like that?
It was a short period of time, and he was out for a good chunk of time. And the thing that sucked too was the one that really knocked him out for a good period was against the Carolina Panthers. I believe it was tight end Ian Thomas. He lowered his head into Brisker, so it wasn't like Brisker was playing reckless or anything, right? It was just something that happens in football. It's just, and that's just the tough thing you have to when you're making these decisions is who do you pay and how do you pay them, and we can get to this when it comes to the salary cap in particular, but is he a guy? I think you saw what the market thought too, right? He only got a 1-year deal with the Steelers, so
I think that's because of the injury, right? I mean,
it could be the injury. Again, I would put him, and I'm a Brisker apologist, I think, to an extent, which makes it sound like he's bad. He's not bad. He is good, but I don't put him as you had to keep him in town player. He was it might be nice to keep him in town. And the other thing too, in terms of him, and I think we can have this conversation when it comes to draft stuff too. I think Dennis Allen, and you saw this with one of the additions that they had, not to jump ahead, but he wants to be more diverse on the back end. Some people that can play, across the board, play deep, and things of that nature. And Brisker was definitely more of an in the box kind of a safety. So I think that it was just not necessarily the type that Dennis Allen wants to use going forward, which is not even a Brisker issue.
Well, that's interesting because, one of the things, I don't know if you know who Ken the Bear fan is, but I had him on my my other podcast, Here's the Thing podcast. And he was talking about how, the Bears defense, the secondary was performing, and people have always been saying, we need to address the line. I think we lost Mason. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. I don't
know.
know.
Finger hit a button.
I don't know where we lost you, but what I was saying is that I was talking to Ken the Bear fan, and he was addressing that. A lot of Bears fans will say that we need to address the defensive line, and because we're not getting the sacks that we need and stuff like that. But our secondary was just performing. Getting those interceptions and really covering the defense.
Yeah, turnovers is one of your actually great things in defense last year, correct, Mason? Everything else you're kind of lower on the board, like yardage and stuff like that. But turnovers, you guys were up there, weren't you?
That's putting it kindly, if we're being honest. I mean, yes, the turnovers were fantastic. Pretty much every other category besides third down defense was pretty horrendous. The Bears. I mean, if it wasn't for the turnovers, they would have been a bottom 2 unit.
Right, and I heard you say this on one of your shows. The only way they could do is go up. So, I mean,
that's what I'm thinking, and I know it's tough. There's a lot of there's some people where when you look at the Bears offseason additions, so I can always flip to that where you add a Devin Bush, you gave him a 3-year, $30 million deal. Kobe Bryant, who I alluded to earlier. cornerback converted to safety by the Seahawks. A 3-year deal for $18 million. And then after that, those are kind of your two big ones. And then after that, it was just a bunch of guys. You added Neville Gallimore at defensive tackle, James Lynch at defensive line, Kentavious Street defensive line, Cam Lewis. You're kind of a DB/safety guy, mainly special teams. It was a bunch of, like I said, like a bunch of guys. And I know a lot of people were disappointed to an extent by the offseason that there weren't more splashes. Defensive line, like you just talked about, Snoop. But to what I said, I mean, I think you can necessarily only go up from here and by that I mean, the way the defense was constructed was not in a way that Dennis Allen could fully operate it. Even if you technically bring in lesser players on paper, could that result in a better output because they're the kind of players that he wants in the system? That's looking at the glass half full, obviously, but depending on also who you add in the draft or any other potential future trades that come up, I do think that this defense not necessarily would be good, but at least be better than it was last year.
Right. One other move I want to talk about is the Garrett Bradbury from New England deal. Pretty good trade for you guys. Talk about him for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't really have to give up much for him. I mean, I believe it was a fifth if I recall right. But yeah. And he is so you had to make that deal because, as I talked about, Jude Dahlman retires. Nothing has come out yet still officially about why he retired. He's made no statement on it, but one has to imagine that this has to do with overall like a health thought process. And if his dad actually broke his neck playing in the NFL and that ended his career. So that has to be floating in his mind in some capacity. And, a lot of Bears fans were, not a lot, a chunk of Bears fans were kind of, upset with him. They're talking about, oh, you got your payday and you got out of here. But he only gets so much of that contract, right? I mean, only so much of it was guaranteed. He left a lot of money on the table. So that happened. And I talked about, he did so much for that Bears offense. I mean, he really was important for, everything, mic identification, line shifts, just, identifications of various, the blitzers and things of that nature. And Caleb, early in his career, Bears career, so last 2 years ago, Caleb was asked to do a lot more stuff. And I think that was part of the issue in his rookie season. Not that he couldn't do it. It's just a lot. So then you had Dahlman take over that. Garrett Bradbury, a very similar athletic guy. He was also a very smart guy. So
very smart. First round draft pick, correct? Right. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. And he should be able to, not to the extent necessarily maybe that Drew did, of course, but he should be able to at least plug in at that center position, take a lot off Caleb's plate. And, Bears probably looking, because it's only a 1-year deal. It's like he's got like $5 million or so on his contract. So being able to plug in for that year and maybe you draft your center of the future. I mean, I thought it was a very shrewd move by Ryan Poles.
Actually, that's one move I really like that you guys did in the offseason. You didn't have to give up much. A fifth for somebody that, what do you have? He had one all-pro season, I believe. His rookie year, I want to say. But I like that sign. But as you said, it looks like a bunch of filler people, role players, nothing that stands out. And a lot has to do with your salary cap and how it kind of handcuffed you a little bit. We all know that the Bears' sweet spot, especially last year, was the draft, which we'll get into. You guys absolutely killed it last year. So on the offensive side of the ball, you guys, your star positions are definitely set, in my opinion. So, as we talked about last time you were on, and as you talked about, pass rusher, secondary, maybe a no lineman. But there's not too much that you could have done in the offseason. Getting out of the DJ Moore trade, contract was huge. And I got something I want to pull up from the last time you were on the show. Actually, something I talked about with DJ Moore. Let me know if I'm good, Snoop.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm excited for your offseason. You got to get some flexibility. Even if that means if I have to trade a DJ Moore for somebody to take his contract, I don't mind giving up a fifth to get a sixth. I don't mind, or something like that. Or if you get some flexibility, you know who I'll love. So I'm going to pull up the details of that trade. I'm not trying to brag, but I was pretty damn close on what the actually hell happened. So you guys sent DJ Moore, a 5th round pick, to Buffalo in exchange for Buffalo's 2026 second round pick. And I believe you had to eat a little bit of cap space, but it freed up quite a bit. Can you talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, there was just essentially the way the contract was structured, there was no way to fully offload it. But the Bears didn't have to eat any extra money, right? You hear about some of these deals where, yes, we're willing to give you a third, but you have to eat like half of the money or something like that. That wasn't the case. I mean, they cleared. It was like something around. I had this in my head before, and I don't remember, but it was like $16 million or so by trading DJ Moore. It was just it was an important move.
16.5. Just saw the number.
Oh, I was actually pretty close.
Oh.
It was an important move you just had to make. I already said this before, but you can't be paying a guy that much money, and it wasn't even 16, right? He was being paid significantly higher than that. But you can't pay him that much money to be the third receiver, fourth pass catcher on a team. When you're hoping that Colson Loveland continues to ascend, that Luther Burden takes another step, right? That Rome Odunze comes back healthy this year, and when you have other needs too, some of that money was used to fill defensive holes. Some of that money was used to sign a couple of pieces or bring in, like we talked about with Bradbury. Bears fans thought maybe you'd be able to use that space on a player like a Max Crosby or something of that nature. That didn't necessarily happen, but DJ's always going to have a special place in Chicago. And I mean, I think he feels the same way. He understands that it's a business, and hopefully at this point, Bears fans are also in that boat too, where they understand, it's not just about how good the player is, but it's about what the team needs.
Correct. And if he was on the roster as of week 1 of next year, it was $27 million is what I just read.
Yeah,
so
which is a lot of money.
A lot for your third string receiver, and you guys got great young receivers underneath of him. So
got a Walker.
Him too. We talked about him last time Mason was on. Mason actually won a bet the touchdown on him for his very first touchdown of his career, which was great. That's crazy. We were streaming during the show, watching the game and talking about it. It was pretty freaking rad. But if I could ask, I don't know the back end of your receivers. I just know your upper echelon guys. Who's your third and fourth receiver on your team right now?
So that's the thing that's kind of interesting. So, you already mentioned Jahdae Walker is the one that I think a lot of Bears fans and the Bears themselves are hoping can take that next step and can actually be that, third receiver at this point. But the Bears actually went and got some insurance policy on that. They went and signed Khalif Raymond off from the Lions. He's going to be there. He knows the offense, obviously, because he was with Ben Johnson for years.
Right.
He's the exact mentality and kind of player that Ben wants in terms of a hard-nosed, scrappy guy. He can get you yards after the catch, which the Bears are all about. Ben Johnson is big on saying, I don't do 50-50 balls, right? He wants to make sure it's a completion and that you can have an opportunity for yards after the catch. So those are kind of the big ones, along with, where I already mentioned Burden and Odunze. And so you have a couple just guys after that. I mean, Maurice Alexander is technically on this team. JP Richardson, undrafted free agent, that's on this team as well. And that's why there is an opening that with a late round pick, if someone happened to fall into their laps at a certain place, like the Bears could potentially go after a receiver, just if they're trying to continue that thought process and have some insurance policy there. But you're really hoping that your big three of Rome Odunze, Luther Burden, Colson Loveland does Cole Kmet, if you want to throw him in there, because they run so much of that 12 and 13 personnel.
Did he come back?
So Cole is he doesn't his contract was
wants to know.
His
that's my
contract
fucking
is
fantasy team name is How I Commit Your Mother, so I gotta keep
he's
it.
got another couple of years. I believe he's got 2 more years, and he's actually someone that, and we can always talk about the salary cap situation, but if they were to need more room for maybe a trade, for example, or to actually potentially fit in some of their draft picks, that he's someone that you could see potentially extended to actually create a little bit more space.
Okay. I know you play a little bit of fantasy football.
Mm-hmm.
Who should the people at home be drafting first at your wide receiver group? Should it be Burden or Odunze?
Can I just cheat and say it's Colson Loveland, even though he's
good answer? That's exactly what I would have said. Yeah, that's good answer, brother. Good answer.
So I was listening to the Athletic Football Show, and they had a question about how many number one receivers are ahead if you're building a team of like the number 1 or number 2 tight end in the league. And so they were talking about the Trey McBrides of the world and I think George Kittle's name got thrown out there if he's healthy, and Colson Loveland's name did get thrown out. It was just kind of like an asterisk of it's still a little early. Let's see one more year of it. But I mean, off the top of my head, like what, 8-ish, 9 maybe wide receiver ones I would take before at this point Colson Loveland, even in like a fantasy football thought process, because I mean, we saw in the second half of the year, I mean, yes, there's more tape. Yes, teams are going to adjust, but I don't understand how you necessarily match up with him because he runs routes very similar to a wide receiver, but he's got the body type that's hard where you can't necessarily put a slot or a nickel, on him. He's going to outrun most linebackers. We saw that in the playoffs where just you couldn't guard him.
He's a matchup nightmare.
And he plays in line too, right? And a lot of these tight ends, I mean, want to talk about the Brock Bowers of the world. You got Kenyon Sadiq coming out this year. Sadiq can block a bit, but like it's more like I get in your way kind of blocking. Colson Loveland is a good blocker in line. So it's hard to know, and that's what Ben Johnson famously talks about is what play is what, right? You want all the plays to look the same, but all the same plays to look different. It's that weird thing. So it's like, is he going to block? Is he going out on a route? Oh shoot, now all of a sudden he's behind me. It's a matchup nightmare, situational nightmare.
Tight end's pretty important to your offense.
Oh, it's huge. I mean, and that's one of the reasons why, I mean, some people were, and to Snoop's chagrin, when they were talking about how to try to make some cap space, things of that nature, some people were pointing at cutting Cole Kmet. And it's like, are you crazy? This guy, he's not expensive. He is basically a left tackle in a tight end's body in a way in terms of what he can handle. Like, no, he's not still like as good as a tackle as at blocking, but the fact that he can take most edges one-on-one and at least give you a chance. I mean, how many tight ends can you say really do that and can go out in the route tree? Is he prolific? No, most of the time he's using his body size to create some space, a little shove in here and there. But at the same time, I mean, think about the final touchdown against the Rams, right? He used his body, got open, Bears tie it, and had a chance to win that game.
He can also kick the ball.
He can't kick the ball. He did have to be when they were in London. He had a emergency kick.
That's right. He is very important. I hear good things about him from his teammates. Teammates love him. Wasn't he captain once in the last couple of years? I think he's top 5 in tight end blocking every year he's been in the league. He's very important, especially for that offense. And that's cool that he's coming back. But yeah, Loveland, great answer with the Loveland. That's what I would have went as well. I have Loveland as a top 5 fantasy tight end going into the next year. So he's definitely one to pick on. He's just a matchup nightmare. You're totally right. Totally a matchup nightmare. And the sky's the limit for this kid. By this time next year, Dr. Mason, your tight end and my tight end could be the 1 and 2 fantasy tight ends in all the league. I already had McBride here. Now your guy can definitely step up. I could see him making a big improvement, especially flashes at the end of the year that he showed last year.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So you talked about salary cap. So I got your current Bears salary cap pulled up and details about it. If we want to pull it up, Snoop. This is from the Chicago. This is from Sport Track, pretty reliable source. So a little over $1 million available right now. This dead cap is what I'm seeing. Now, I'm going to scroll down. I know we talked about it a minute ago. Don't mean to keep coming back to him, but at the bottom of this list here, DJ Moore is a cap hit of dead money. I did not see that. Did you know that?
Yeah, so that was part of if you traded him, there was really no way around it. You were going to have some of that dead money. So I believe they have 19.8 or so million in dead money for this year.
Okay. Do you see anything upcoming at the NFL draft? Do you see anything that they could be doing to try to free up some space? I mean, they're barely making it with the money they got for the draft picks alone, correct?
Yeah, it's like, so if you look, you said, they have, in terms of their space, there's a difference. You have cap space and you have effective cap space because of what they're projected to have to pay. I believe just to pay their current incoming rookie class, if the picks stayed as they were, they have to clear up about $4-ish million in cap space, something of that nature. But there's a ton of ways, honestly. So we already mentioned one. There's a Cole Kmet extension. But there's a bunch of guys you can restructure. Now the question is, who do you want to restructure, right? when you restructure someone, right, you want to have it potentially be a player that's going to be around for the duration of that restructure. You see, like some teams really hamstring themselves with it. Some teams play it better than others. Like the Eagles do a masterful job of managing their salary cap with their void years and things like that. Take a team like the Browns, and they do a pretty terrible job of it.
Yeah.
But like Joe Tooney, he's a guy you could restructure his deal, kick some money into the future, you clear cap space. Jonah Jackson is another guy that I think is going to be here for a good bit of time. You could restructure his deal. Montez Sweat is another guy. And then you start to get into some people that like you could restructure, but you don't really want to probably. And Grady Jarrett, you could potentially, if you really needed to. Dayo Dangbo, you definitely don't want to. Unless he all of a sudden, there's that joke currently going around Bears Twitter about motivated Dayo Dangbo. But as of right now, you don't want to touch that. One of the really interesting ones would be Jalen Johnson. You really want to see what he comes back with this year. I mean, he was very vocal about him. He was not himself at the end of that year. He was not ready to come back, but he did it because he had to.
On the show last time, you're like, he just wasn't healthy at all this year. Like he was playing through stuff. He got injured, and a few weeks later, he got injured right away again on the similar area. Correct?
Yeah, it's like he had the one side is when it was his original injury, and then compensatorily ended up having it on the other side, and a worse version of it that's required surgery. So he's someone that like, could you again restructure his deal to push his money out? You could. But I could also see a world where he's not even on the Bears in a year or two, depending on what his play looks like, if you want to try to trade him and try to move off some of that money. So there's definitely a good chunk of ways that you can create a good amount of cap space here. It's just a matter of how much do you want to make and how much do you need to make, right? What is the need? Is it just your incoming rookie class? Or is there a big ticket trade on the horizon that you need to make a good chunk of space for?
Right. So speaking of, Dexter Lawrence requested a trade from the Giants, and I told Snoop on about this last week when I heard the news. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys were in the mix. I haven't heard anything or anything. Is there anything connected on that front?
So when you're listening to currently what the layout is for this whole thing is. A lot of the people are saying, oh, this is just negotiating tactics. He's just trying to get more money, which is true. He is just trying to get more money at this point. 28 years old. Giants are in a weird spot where they hired John Harbaugh, who, I mean, he's in a win now mode. Right? He's not trying to necessarily rebuild. They have Jackson Dart, which whether they believe him in or not, which I do think they believe in him, but so I think they think they're at least, in the hunt of becoming a team if they can just get the right pieces around. So arguably, do you want to move off of a player that's as impactful as a Dexter Lawrence? You'd think they wouldn't, and it doesn't seem like they're like heavily motivated to do so right away. That being said, they are far apart on their contract talks. Like he wants upwards of about $30 million a year. They're not wanting to do that right now. They're almost nearly $10 million apart. So if push comes to shove, and because I believe he has 2 years left on his current deal. If you're going to get the most you can for him, it would be now before the draft, right? That's what the pick is going to be. You can use it right away. Try to use the first round pick on insert position here, which allows you to use one of your other picks on a defensive tackle, trying to at least just have a body there. And I think the Bears are a prime target. Like, so when you're looking at teams who are willing to make a medium to big swing on a player who's this age and this kind of an impact, it's always a team. And the Bears are a good example of this not that long ago in 2018 when they made a trade for Khalil Mack, right? They thought Mitch might have been the answer. They had the other pieces around them, Allen Robinsons of the world and things of that nature. And they figured we were a Khalil Mack away from really making a push for the Super Bowl. And they were one double doink away from potentially, maybe being on that pathway. So yes, I mean, the Bears were one interception, unfortunately, and a made field goal by the Rams away from the NFC Championship game. And as you already talked about, their pass rush is abysmal. I'll say abysmal. That's fair. And so Dexter Lawrence would absolutely help that. Now, some people point to the fact that he had a down year last year, but when you look at his advanced stats, whether it's his pressure rate, whether it's his double team rate, all these different things, he was still up there in the upper echelon of not just D tackles, but of pass rushers in general. It just wasn't necessarily resulting directly in sacks for him. It was resulting in sacks for guys like Brian Burns, and their most recent draft pick, Abdul Carter. So all that being said, yes, I think the Bears are very much in this. That the asking price for the Giants right now is a first. I wonder if they end up settling for a second and change of some kinds. But at least in my opinion, do I like this draft class? Yes, I do. But at the same time, the player that you probably get if you're going to go you get a pass rusher at 25 has probably like a high floor, low ceiling in terms of that player's ultimate impact. And we can always talk about various edge rushers and things like that. But the chances that they have the impact in a 2 to 3 year period that a Dexter Lawrence does, I mean, it's almost next to none.
Right. So let's just go ahead.
That's
Snoop.
interesting because one of the things I wanted to ask you was, would you give up the 25th pick for a Max Crosby?
Yeah, I mean, I'll drive the 25th pick directly to the Raiders.
You'll drive it there, like in your fucking Honda. Like,
yeah, it'll be a little box that just says here it's the Bears 25th pick. Like, I would absolutely do that. I mean, there's a couple of players that fall into that category. I just think the Max Crosby thing is dead. I know it's technically not, but I think
I thought it was too until today. I heard some rumblings, so that's why I'm bringing it up today.
We might hear more rumblings as the draft gets closer too. It could be smoke. Yeah. It could be mirrors. I think you would have to give up more than the first to get him. And then there's the money aspect. I don't even know what type of money he's making. So I want to get back to Dexter real quick. Let's just say you guys do make the trade for him. Mm-hmm. Would he hold out for a deal? Is that
you would have that agreed upon essentially ahead of time, right? So the teams would talk and be like, hey, we have this deal set, but we're good with the trade, but we need to make that happen. This is what happened with Montez Sweat. That's why like the Montez Sweat contract happens like 2 days after he was traded from the Commanders. You don't make the trade unless you have, in essentially a handshake agreement of what that contract would be. And basically the Giants would allow Dexter's agent to have those conversations.
Snoop, I think Crosby has family that lives in Illinois. I think he might have some family.
Hold on. It's Illinois, first of all. That I don't know about, but there's been so much talk about it. It just feels like it has to happen. And it felt dead when he signed with the Ravens or went to the Ravens. And then that fell through. I don't know.
Yeah, we were last time Mason was on, we even talked about the other guy, the guy from Cincinnati, Hendrickson, talking about. We talked about him. He ended up going to Baltimore for huge money. That was kind of a fiasco how all that went down. But that's gonna. If you guys get Dexter Lawrence, he's definitely going to be an upgrade. And like you said, I would run and give him that 25th pick if that was it. If that was it. But I think you would have to give up a little bit more. But it's going to be interesting because your guys' Bears. I'll say it again. You guys freaking killed last year. Like I'll still say you guys had the best draft, and as long as you do that every year, you're going to be contending every freaking year. That's the backbone of building a team.
Well, and actually, to that, what you just highlighted there, I would compare it to when the Jets actually traded Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys. The Cowboys sent a first-round pick and a couple other assets, but it wasn't other big picks to the Jets for that. But the difference was the Cowboys didn't have to give him a new contract. But in this scenario, if Dexter Lawrence were to be traded, it's not just the pick, right? You end up having to give Dexter a $30 million contract. You're closer to the draft, which also changes the mechanics a little bit. So I don't know that you would really have to give more than just the first, if I'm being completely honest.
All right. And I think he would fit your scheme pretty damn well there too.
Yeah.
He really would. Let's dive into, let me pull this up here quick, Snoop. I got on the Bears website. I want to talk about, let's get into the NFL draft. So right here on this page, I got all your guys' draft picks. You got 7, 20, picking at number 25, 57, 60, 89, 129, 239, and 241. Now this Bills one is part of that DJ Moore trade, correct, Mason?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me about this one via the Rams and via the Eagles and Browns. Do you know how you guys got that? And basically, in a nutshell, 7th picks. Can you see yourself dealing to possibly get more?
I'm trying to remember. I mean, the Eagles one might have been part of the trade up that the Eagles made when they went and got Jalen Carter. That's like the only one I can think of off the top of my head in recent history where the Bears and the Eagles had a trade. The Rams one, I have no idea
Right.
where that one came from. I mean, that could have been maybe just when they did part of the Jonah Jackson trade. They may have gotten a fourth back when they sent something out. Could have been that. I know the 5th round was traded away. That one was the Joe Tooney pick, one that they sent to the Chiefs.
Ah, okay.
So, which I'll do that 10 times out of 10. I mean, you want to even like honestly, just the 1 year of Joe Tooney was so magical that I'm okay with them not having a 5th round pick.
Right. So real quick, not to cut you off, how's it feel picking at 25 and not earlier?
Weird. It's really weird. Just because you're used to the Bears being, I guess you can say kind of like engineering or being the draft in a way, like what they do shifts the tide of what's happening going forward. I mean, you can talk about that for multiple drafts. Go back last year when the Bears took Colston Loveland. Apparently, there was a lot of calls to certain teams, kind of in that range, right around where they took him, right after they took him, and then all of a sudden the call stopped. Right, a bunch of teams were trying to call to trade up to get Colston Loveland. I think the Rams actually were one of them. Funny enough. You go back the year before that, there was the whole, obviously the Caleb Williams pick is huge. We had the crazy pick of Michael Penix with the Falcons at 8. And then, right, the pick of Rome Odunze at 9, right? That was the 3rd wide receiver off the board there. And then you just have, how that changes the flow of the rest of the draft, the other wide receivers that go, the fact that the Vikings, moved to go get JJ McCarthy. The Bears are always, or because they pick so early, usually tend to be, one, as a Bears fan, you get to tune in early, and then if you want to turn it off in the second half, you really can, because you don't have to worry about it too much. But you also really dictate what happens the rest of it. Now it's very reactionary. So this is very odd, right? Because I'm sitting here, we're doing all the mocks, sitting here at pick 25, and it's like, will this guy fall to you? Like, I don't know if they'll fall. I mean, that's a long way. Here's like 5 teams that I think could take this player. And so, yeah, it's just a very different world to be in.
Do you see the Bears trading up at all?
I would be very surprised if they did. There's actually a couple of, funny enough, there's a couple of clips going around, if you look, of Ryan Poles discussing trading up. They're in the draft room, and one was for Rome Odunze, and one was for Torrey Taylor, if I recall correctly, the punter that they drafted in the 4th round a couple years ago. And it shows him being like, should we trade up? I think we might need to trade up. And Ian Cunningham, who is now the GM of the Falcons, but apparently not the head of football decisions, but whatever. Not like I'm sour about that or anything. But Ian Cunningham kind of being the get back guy and holding Poles back and be like, no, just we've run the simulators. He'll be there. So normally I would say no, because the Bears really haven't traded up a ton in recent history. They've been, if anything, more of a trade back team trying to accumulate picks. But does Ryan Poles have a get back guy? Right? I mean, we play fantasy football, and so we've all, I think, kind of experienced the idea of like, man, I'm sitting here, I got 3 picks until my guy is like, I think he'll be there, and then we get someone snatched away from us, and then next year we swear like, oh, I'm not going to wait next year. Next year I'm going to go get that guy. But that's fantasy football. You can't do that as an NFL GM. So, long story short, I don't think they will, especially when we talk. If they did, it would probably be from trying to move like pick 57 and moving up to earlier in the 2nd versus anything to do with the 1st round.
All right. Well, do you see us trading down?
Down is entirely possible, because like I said earlier, there's this nice chunky middle of the draft, kind of those
40
picks
to
40
80.
through, where and so if you
There's
could
some good
somehow
players.
trade down, I'm gonna use a Ryan Pace, former Bears GM, word here, cloud, right?
Fuck
There was
that
like I like everything. He was great at drafting defensive linemen, great with his usage of the word cloud. Everything else kind of sucked. But basically, if there's 8 people that you're like, I really like these 8. And you can move back 6 picks because, hey, I like one of these. Any one of these guys is going to still be there. I could absolutely see that, especially if it allows you to either get another pick this year in that chunky middle we talked about, or get a future pick in 2027, because that 2027 draft is going to be something special.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
I always hear people say that the next draft is going to be loaded. I'm
this
so
one is.
sick of hearing that shit.
Dude,
Because there's no time like the present. You have to act now. You can't wait till tomorrow.
Stoop, you
Here's the
got some
thing.
good points. Here's the thing: Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. EST. But Stoop on Poop. Sorry, go
Thanks
ahead.
for the plug.
No, I was going to say you're absolutely right, Snoop. Because, and I'll use quarterbacks because that's usually what mainly drives that conversation, right? This year was supposed to actually be that too, where you have
Is
the
this
Cam
year?
Ward draft.
Is Manning this year? Is this the year that Manning is
Yes.
going on?
So
Next year.
yes. So like you had the Cam Ward draft where people were kind of like, this isn't fantastic, and then they were like, well, wait till next year. Because you could have Archie Manning, you could have Dante Moore, right? You could have Lenore Sellers, and then a bunch of these guys went back to school. They said, "I want nothing to do with being a part of the Jets, so I'm going to go back to school." Now, some of these guys were running out of time. Like Moore kind of has to come out next year. I would assume Archie comes out, if we're being completely honest. And then you have the Cadillac that is Smith, wide receiver from Ohio State, where everyone.
Yeah.
So as more of these really good players are there, and you're losing some of the COVID guys, right? That some of those guys, as many of the 24, 25-year-olds who stuck around as long as they did, there'll be less of those individuals. So when you have less of those individuals, you have more of quarterbacks that will push down, right, other positions. And like the running back class is supposed to be fantastic next year as well. I haven't dove super deep into it, but kind of the general thought process. You're right. We tend to overstate next year. But every once in a while, you do have a year. Take the Caleb Williams draft. That was a great draft. Wide receiver and quarterback especially were fantastic in that draft.
Yep.
You just made me laugh because I wondered, is dove a word?
Stoop, you bring up a good point because a lot of talk has been about that 27 class, a lot. And somebody that plays diehard fantasy in like dynasty and keeper leagues, I'm trying to look to get more of those 27 picks because
I have 9 out of 12 picks in one league in 2027.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. Holy
excited.
crap. Holy
so
crap.
Excited.
Wow. Great job, Mason.
Nerd alert.
Great job, Mason. For real. That's amazing. Build. Dude, that's amazing. So I think this year's quarterback class is getting overlooked. I think the middle rounds is getting a little bit overlooked as far as what Snoop said. I think there's a real sweet spot for D linemen, pass rushers, and linemen, between that 40 and 100 range. I really like that. I don't think the quarterback class, I just said it, is getting slept on. Next year's class is supposed to be loaded. And I'm gonna have to do it. Cheers to Mason for only 9 of the 12 picks. God damn, that's amazing. I'm sorry, that's impressive. So I got the 101 this year, brother. So I'm trying. I got Jeremiah Love coming to me, so I'm doing a little rebuild. But this year's class is being a little bit overlooked, and I think this class, if you got the right scouts and people behind the scenes, you can come out on top. So that's awesome. How many leagues are you playing again, Mason?
I think I have 6.
Oh
Damn.
my goodness.
Catching up to me.
Four. I think I have 4 dynasties and then 2 redraft.
Hell yeah. All right, so I just thought of this idea. Anybody that I've been on the Pick Is In, I'm going to start a Pick Is In fantasy league with all my guests. Mason, you're the first invite. So I'm going to start
Sign me
one.
up. I'm good.
Well, that's awesome. Fantasy has, especially in your line of work with fantasy, if I was like, closer to you or like bros with you, I'd be like, hey, what's the scoop on this injury? What's the scoop on this injury? Because it's hand in hand. That's a good plug right there, brother, of what you do when it comes to fantasy. And that's, hey, us geeks, we got to geek out. So,
I'm not going to lie. It does give me a bit of an advantage. Some of the guys who are coming out with an injury that freak other people out. And I'm like, that's not a big deal. I'm going to draft that guy. Or, the ones where I'm like, you know what? I'm staying away. If someone wants to take a chance on that, good for them. But I'd rather that be someone else's problem.
All right. So how many?
Do you hold on real quick, Haywood? Do you have the inside scoop between y'all doctors? Like who's injured, who's not? Like, do y'all communicate? Like, have your own Discord or something? Like,
I have a couple chats.
Okay. All
right. Are you when it comes to your fantasy leagues, do you separate heart from your head? Do you get a bunch of bears?
I've gotten better about it. And it's really funny. So there's one league I joined a couple years ago. It's a super flex league. And I was sitting there ready to take Drake May with pick, I want to say it was 4 maybe. And then because like the guy who was ahead of me, he already had like 3/4. He had Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert. He just took Caleb Williams, and I was like, all right, cool. I got Drake May coming to me, and then he snags Drake May, and I'm like, why do you need like 6 quarterbacks? Like I get it, super flex, but this is crazy. And so based on my board, and this was like the first year I was really like, I'm just done with Drip Bears players. I'm done drafting with my heart and hoping that it works out. Roma Dunze was sitting there, right? And it's like I was forced in a way to take Roma Dunze. Fast forward a year, same thing happens where it wasn't. I can't remember who got sniped from me, but it was another position. And who's sitting there but Colson Loveland? And it's I don't. And at the time, like I loved Loveland, I really did. I was all about Loveland. I thought he was gonna be great, but like I had a hard time thinking I'm gonna have now both of these players. I don't like splitting scores, right? Points if I can avoid it. Like it's weird. I mean, I lucked out. I did win a league last year where I had both Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, but that seemed more of like a weird thing than anything. But I was like, but he's the best player on my board. So I had to take Loveland's. And I mean, I'm glad I did it. Don't get me wrong. But so I'm trying to get long story short, I'm trying to get away from taking as many Bears players as I have in the past, but it's been forced upon me now twice in the last 2 years.
So a question, my keeper league, I'm trying to do a trade for Caleb Williams. He's got 1 year left at $10. It's a $300 salary cap. Okay. You control his rights after the year. This person has 3 quarterbacks. He's his 3rd quarterback. So they got pick number 5. I got pick 7 and 8 in the rookie draft. So I offered 7, 8 for 5 and Caleb. Would you do that on my end? I have no quarterbacks and I have tons of money.
I would 100% do it on your end. I mean, I think that totally tracks.
Oh yeah, I still have Caleb as a top 5 fantasy quarterback as of right now. I'm higher than anybody I know on him. Like I've seen ESPN just put out theirs, Yahoo, and I don't even see Caleb till 8 till 12 on the rankings. And I'm like, what am I missing? Is it just me? What am I missing?
I think it's the Bears logo, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
It's just, and it is. It's and even as a Bears fan, I can say like, yeah, usually the other shoe drops eventually. Like there was the year that Mitch was never a top 5 guy even, but I mean he played well enough to be in fantasy conversations. Justin Fields, right?
Pro Bowl quarterback as well.
Pro Bowl and MVP.
That Pro Bowl gets loosely, talked about. Anybody?
Drew Sanders, Pro Bowl.
Drew Sanders, enough said. So when you say say a play,
Sanders, what the fuck, man?
You want to be careful with that word.
And then you had Justin Fields, right? I mean, he was like arguably consistently a top 5 fantasy quarterback just because what he did with his legs, but was not a great passer of the ball. So like, I think just when you get that Bears logo thrown on you, and there's also, I find in both the NFL media world and fantasy world, there are some quarterbacks that people just can't quit, right? Like the Justin Herbert love is still there. And like, don't get me wrong, I think Justin Herbert is a very good quarterback, a top 10 guy. It's just like it just hasn't turned quite yet. Like
he won't hit that ceiling. He just won't.
It's just there's just a little something there, and I'm sure if there's a Chargers fan listening, they're yelling at their phone, their screen, or whatever right now. And that's not me saying he's a bad quarterback. It's just me saying that fantasy football wise, especially with how they want to run the ball there and some other factors, like that matters, right? There's people that are having a hard time quitting Lamar Jackson, right? Because of what he did before, but like he's just been so hurt recently, and now what is that offense going to look like? They're going to shift more in theory to potentially a very Bears-like offense. Like I just, so you're not really sure what's going to happen there. People who got Jaden Daniels, in his rookie year, he's I think elevated more than he should be. So you just have Patrick Mahomes. I think he's a terrible fantasy quarterback, but he continues to be drafted very high because he's Patrick Mahomes. But like their offense has been very average at best, and honestly the way they spread the ball out as well, I mean they'll give the ball away. The way that they'll score does not always translate to fantasy points for Patrick. So
right, you're totally right. I agree with you. I was listening to a podcast today. Shout out to my boy Frank in the chat for the Trade Addicts podcast. They're talking about would you give up 2 firsts in a keeper league for Mahomes? And I was like, if it's not Superflex, hell no.
No.
I just want it. Like, I'm always been higher on Caleb than most people. And like I said last time, this guy's ceiling is not even close to being touched. If he can get up that 700-800 yard rush range per year, he's going to his 2nd year of the scheme. my God, the league better look out if this guy gets it like 100%. He's got the head on his shoulders for it. So let those other people hate on him. People like us will grab him,
yeah.
we'll scoop it up, and kindly cash in. Go ahead, Snoop.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay. But I want to dive in. You've been doing mock drafts on your podcast, on the Bare Bones podcast. You just had your 5th mock draft. And I got to say, I was pretty impressed with how you guys do it. You guys go through every single round, trades. You can't pick the same player that you did previously. You know, I like the. You have a couple good guys on your show, by the way. Very informative in the way they come across. I like it. I want to talk about your last mock draft, 5.0, I believe, right?
Yes.
You just had it. What was that? 12 days ago was your last show, but I want to pull up a clip from it. Let me know when I'm good, Snoop.
Go ahead.
All right. And real fast, all serious aside, I got to ask, what are you wearing in this, Mason?
So we filmed this. It was like the week of Easter. So I happened to have this hoodie.
I know the clip he's about to play.
I happen to have this hoodie that it was this group on YouTube called Achievement Hunter. They played a game called Super Bunny Friends. They made a hoodie based off of the characters in it. I will say it's one of the most uncomfortable hoodies I've ever worn. The inside of it is this real weird scratchy material. I don't know why they did that, but like I wear it twice a year right around Easter, and that's that.
But I got a 2-minute clip of just your in-depth and talks about who you picked at pick number 25. So let's watch it.
For some people in the future, if they can't make it in the NFL here, we are doing our mock draft. This is the 5th one that we've done here on Bare Bones. As a reminder, Danny and I cannot repeat picks. So, if we don't pick the person you love, it's probably because there's a good chance we already talked about him. But we get also a fresh set of eyes here with Brennan joining us. So first off, right off the bat, in our mock draft, round 1, pick 25, Danny and I actually ended up going with the same guy, Keldrick Falk, edge out of Auburn. And we don't go over these picks beforehand. This just kind of happened naturally. So I'll just dive into it, and then I'll have Danny go after that. 6'6", 276 pound with 34.5-inch arms. I mean, this dude was built in a lab by Dennis Allen. He's got a 35-inch vertical, 9'9" broad jump at the combine. He's a football infant, only 20 years old and the youngest prospect in the draft. But it's crazy because even with his young age, everyone that talks about him praises his leadership, accountability, character. His frame is still developing. So who knows where he could end up at the end of the day. Long levers to strike blockers, frame first, take early leads on snaps, has the tools to penetrate or maintain gap integrity on lateral run plays, able to open up edges with efficient sudden hands, and does a good job hunting down scrambling QBs. Like I mentioned earlier, he's got just some pretty crazy tools in terms of just his raw talent. On the negative side, though, his production did decline in 2025, but the tape is better than the numbers show. Auburn also deployed him across multiple alignments, including interior looks at 2-tech through 4-tech on about 30% of his snaps. So that's a role that's way less conducive to pass rush production. But he was willing to do it because that's what was best for the team last year. His upfield burst is about average currently, and he's a bit of a habit of overrunning the pocket depth instead of working back under. I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone by pick 25. Like, for example, I just feel like the Eagles are a team that's looming, but you see he's all over the place. You got some mocks that he's going as high as, I believe, 12. You have others that have him dropping out of the first round. But I mean, he's a ball of clay that some teams may want, who's more proven he's a ball of clay that but other teams may want a guy who's more proven as a pass rusher. Maybe they prefer a TJ Parker type. But he really does the potential lineup at any spot in an odd or even fronts, depending on the down. So my next pick will align with this, because I feel like he can play outside or kick inside, which gives you some flexibility when crafting your roster. I mean, personally, I see kind of like a slightly smaller Eric Armstead type of guy. Danny, I don't know what your thoughts are.
So I was pretty impressed with your analysis on players. So for your people at home, especially you Bears fans, go give his podcast a follow. That's how in depth they are. You do this every offseason, correct? And I want to ask you a couple questions. How long have you been doing these mock drafts, even before your podcast, just as a stat nerd, big fan? And your other 4 mock drafts, tell me about the other 4 players. And then I got a follow-up question.
Yeah. So I I've always just kind of played with some of the mock simulators and stuff like that for a while, but I really didn't start getting actual analysis and like watching tape till probably around 4 years ago. Um, and I had to really learn how to watch tape because I mean I don't know about you, but when I first watched football, it was hard for me to just now okay, ball is snapped, quarterback has it, quarterback throws ball, follow ball, whatever the case might be. So uh, to learn how to really focus on certain players and how not to just follow the ball, and also certain positions are tough too. Like take safeties, it's like you have to wait every eighth play is an actual play that you can like assess and grade for a safety
Assess, yes.
because the other seven are just them dropping back or something like that. So there's also like a certain patience for certain positions you have to develop. Um, and oh yeah, and then you wanted to know like some of the other players I took at some of the other mocks.
Yeah. Number 25, besides the guy from Auburn, who was some of the other 4 players that you mocked? You don't have to talk about them. I'm going to get to that as my follow-up question, but who was the other 4 that you mocked for your pick at 25?
So let me think. I know that I took Caden Proctor in my very first one. I really liked the idea, and I touched on this, of trying to improve potentially that left tackle situation just because I really don't know what Ozzy Tripill is going to come back with. And I mean, Caden Proctor is a mountain of a man, and he's one of the few guys in the first round that actually like really played left tackle. I don't like the idea of flipping people if I don't have to. It's just a muscle memory thing, if anything. And there's also a little bit of the, well, why didn't you just play left tackle in the first place kind of a thing. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some situations like guy didn't play left tackle. He got moved to right because they had a left tackle that was pretty solid, and they just didn't feel like they needed to move him. So that certainly happens, of course. But yeah, so Caden Proctor was one that I took. Was really, I like him. Akeem Mesidor was another player that I took at pick 25. He's a guy too. He'll be interesting. He definitely can be someone that maybe has actually gone by that point. Like the Dallas Cowboys are a team that I could definitely see taking an Akeem Mesidor. He's got his pros and his cons, of course. I mean, the fact that he's 25 years old is a con. Is he tapped out? Is he going to get any better? Is he just a situation of man amongst boys? But at the same time, I mean, he's going to come in and be a professional pass rusher for you. I mean, if you need someone who's going to play right away, he's a good pick. I took Caleb Banks in another one. That one, I kind of wanted more just to talk about him. He's weird where he could still go in the first, but with the foot injury, so it seems like he might drop more to the second round maybe. But I just think he's just such an impressive player. I mean, he was, I think, one of the better players in college football during the time period he was able to play before he got his foot injury. So it's just an unfortunate situation more so for him.
Yeah, I was a huge NFL draft person in the 20 teens. Snoop actually lived with me, and he knew. Like I made mock drafts. Like I studied it. I don't have the time for it like I used to. I just don't. So I could really.
This guy used to nerd out, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
I couldn't believe the amount of hours that he would spend doing this. I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, I was on radio shows for Cardinals Insider doing the mock drafts and Sirius Radio, this and that. One year I got 28 out of 32 picks right on my mock, which is better than anything Mel Kiper has ever done. Suck it, Mel Kiper. So I don't like that guy. But I can appreciate is what I'm getting to.
Yeah,
the time, the effort, and just given to the fans and the people about what these players are. People don't have time to do the research and stuff like that. You're very reliable on sources. So I want to, it's right now, it's Wednesday, 8 days before the draft. Give me 3 prospects that are realistic at 25 right now and tell me a little bit about them if you don't mind.
Okay, so what I would go with, I would say... So another tackle that we haven't talked about. Let me see. I'm going to pull up my notes here.
You can share your screen if you'd like, Mason.
Just you can if you want. Yeah,
that's all good. I would say Max Iheanacho is a tackle prospect to watch. He's one. I know some people are going to hate me saying this in terms of like Bears fans, but he would be a good pick that you don't even necessarily play right away. And I don't know if that's 6 weeks. I don't know if that's a year. but he is still very raw. And the fact that you went and re-signed Braxton Jones, right? You actually got Wills, excuse me, as another left tackle,
Jarek, right?
potential guy. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and he had an injury, and then he had some kind of some issues with some of the teams he was with. He's definitely a long shot, but he's got like skill. Like he definitely is a good left tackle. He just has to kind of put it all together and hopefully come back from that injury. But you basically and also Theo Benedict. Those are 3 options that you can play at left tackle this year that will be able to keep you afloat if you really wanted to. As you bring on Iheanacho a little slower, because he is a raw prospect, but my God, like he's just a tough MFer, right? I mean, his run blocking is good. His pass protection is even better. He's just his size too. He's a massive individual. He compares pretty favorably to like some previous individuals, like Dickerson is a good example of a guy who like he plays similarly to, just like I said, very aggressive and violent in space, more developed as a pass blocker than a run blocker. And he can sometimes fall off his blocks and has to do a better job latching sometimes. But I mean, he can really bury people in both facets of the game. He just needs more time. So yeah, if you want to go the left tackle route, that'd be one. Another one would be safety. And so it kind of depends on like who falls to you. More likely than not, you're thinking Dylan Thieneman is going to go earlier, just because, especially at the combine, he wowed. So that's
I like
really
him. I like him.
I like him a lot, and if he's sitting there, I have a real thought process on taking him. The only reason I maybe don't necessarily take him is because you think that, well, I can get a safety in round 2. I can't get a left tackle, an edge at the right level necessarily that I would want, kind of thing. But the one who's maybe more likely to be there would be Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. He's certainly a possibility at safety there. The problem is he didn't play as much coverage as you would like. And I talked about at the very beginning of the show that one of the things that Dennis Allen wants, he wants more range on the back end. Now you have to project a little bit because he didn't play. He definitely had some coverage snaps, and he did well in those coverage snaps, but he played a lot more in the box. And that's what I don't think it was necessarily he's bad in coverage. It's that he just does really, 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 really well in the box. It's like, why not let him do the thing he's amazing at? And so, if you're looking for someone that can be in the box, who's going to stick his nose in there, he just is a magnet for the ball. He forced 8 fumbles in 35 games, 206 tackles, 11 tackles for loss. He just is always around the ball. He's a really good peanut punch. We're in Chicago. Always got to bring that up.
Peanut.
Got to. Always got to talk about peanut. And, McNeil-Warren's best when facing the quarterback. He gets an early read, squats, drives on the ball. You don't want to see him turning very much because sometimes he can lose the ball a little bit. He's not the fastest guy in the world, which I think is hurting him a little bit with some teams. He ran a 4.52 40, which isn't bad. It's just, that's a little underwhelming. So that's why some Bears fans don't necessarily like him at that pick, because they see him so much as a box safety. But again, I think it's just because he wasn't asked to do the coverage stuff. Not that he can't, but it's Toledo. Like, we're going to put people in the best positions we can to try to just win games. We're not looking to develop you for your NFL career. And then just a couple more names. I won't go as deep into those, but there's just like some edges that fits. And that's really, I'm avoiding defensive tackle, if I'm being honest, because I don't love the tackles in this draft. Some people like Peter Woods. I'm not a Peter Woods guy.
Agree.
It's just not my guy. I mean, his 24 tape was better.
If I could interrupt real fast, I think you're totally right. You made some great points. Like, the first round is loaded at, like, for your position in 25, like more of the tackle and pass rusher, right? And like safety is a little bit deeper in those middle rounds. So I totally follow what you're saying. Go ahead.
Yes. Couple other names that you throw out there. Zion Young is a name that's been very popular amongst Bears fans. Good player. He just isn't as athletic as you'd like, so his ceiling's a little lower, but he's a powerful guy with big burst. The problem is he's more like, I'm going to run through you than I'm going to have moves of a diverse set to get around you. And so that's going to, I think, limit what his pass rush is. But, I mean, he actually had a really good pass rush win rate. It was 9.3%, which is the best among the edge prospects in this class. And he ranks 8th in pass rush, ranks 8th in pass rush win rate at 17.5%. So, like, it's like there's a little bit of good, a little bit of bad. But one of the reasons I don't think he's a Bear, he actually had a DUI arrest in December. The Bears in general, especially because of who their owner George McCaskey is, things of that nature, they're very like we want good guys kind of a thing. So that kind of takes him off of your plate a little bit. And then last one I'll name, I'll throw out there. I can throw two. You know what? I'm just go to Malachi Lawrence. To me, and don't take this the wrong way, but it's like a less sexy Khalil Mack is how he plays, just in terms of like body type. Like you could take the Buffalo uniform that Mack wore in college and put it on Malachi, and you'd be like squinting to tell the difference. He plays a similar game to him, just again not as good. He's Diet Khalil, I guess you could say. But I mean, he had 27.5 tackles for loss, 19.5 sacks his 3 seasons at UCF. The toughness and motor off the charts. I mean, he's going to be a guy where
one of the best motors in the draft.
Yeah, 100%. Like if you go think about that play where there was the interception and DK Metcalf hunted down the cornerback, like
Buda
that would
Baker
be.
here. I was at that game.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah, the Buda Baker touchdown caught from behind. Yeah, go ahead.
That would be Malachi Lawrence. Not that he would catch Buda Baker, but he would be like still sprinting even if he had no chance of catching him. And again, he's a tough son of a gun. He's a power guy. Similar in that conversation to the previous edge I just talked about, where his moves there's not a lot of diversity or like sexiness to his moves, so that might take some of the ceiling off of him. And also he had 7 tackles, missed 7 tackles as a pass rusher, which I think is low. I feel like when I watched his tape, it was more than that. But I think part of it is like his over aggressiveness. He just takes some funky angles and just lets sacks get away from him, which you can coach that out of him.
You can coach that, yeah.
Yeah, so I do like Lawrence. He has a chance at slipping into the bottom of the first, or I mean, he could fall down into the beginning of the second. But yeah, he's just another guy who this edge class is one where take your pick of flavor. There's someone of that flavor that you can get end of the first, through the entire second, through the entire third. I mean, one of my favorite edges is a guy that's going to be nowhere near the first is Kayron Crawford out of Auburn.
I love him.
He's fantastic. It's just there's a little couple things here and there that are going to drop him down. Like I said, end of the second, beginning of the third.
You're totally right. After the first couple pass rushers, the next tier is so like long and it can be mix and matched. You could put one guy at 4 or 5. The next day would be at 10. Like you're totally right. There's some good depth at this class, and your guys' front office, you guys are good. Believe in what you guys are doing, especially after last year. You guys are in good hands. Hopefully, you can. I could see you definitely trading back. As history's in the years past. 7 draft picks. It's a little on the light side. You guys draft well, so hopefully you guys will kill it and have a great draft. Snoop, do you have any other draft questions for Dr. Mason West?
And not really. I think you hit it all. I think the edge is the biggest question about everything. What are we going to do at the edge position? And that goes back to, do we trade for a Crosby or try to find a Lawrence deal somewhere, or do we trade up? I mean, I don't know. I think that's the biggest question right now for the Bears is the edge.
Mason, would you be okay with a stud O lineman and the rest defense?
I think just knowing how funky that patellar tendon injury can be for anybody, let alone someone who's as massive as Audrey Trapillo is, I would not have a problem. And this is a weird left tackle class too, where I don't think, take like an Ian Nachor as an example, or I'm not as big on Caleb Lomu. Other people are. He's much better pass rusher. I don't think Ben Johnson will like his run blocking because his run blocking is offensive to me, if I'm being completely honest. But it's just a weird left tackle class where you can kind of like the edge, where you can actually get someone that you could feel pretty comfortable starting week 1, if not, maybe giving a couple weeks of just learning and then starting eventually, compared to other years where you have like 2 maybe guys at the very top, like take like the Membu draft, right? And like get Will Campbell up there, which we could have a conversation about how that worked out. But it's still very early. And then it was just like kind of like nothing for the rest of that first until you had Simmons go to the Chiefs. this is kind of a different class where, yes, you can poke and prod, and there's some holes with a bunch of different guys, but there's there's a tackle there for you if you really want one. I mean, between Sfano, I like Blake Miller. Is just a right tackle, but he's still a good right tackle. Monroe Freeling, no one knew who Monroe Freeling really was at the beginning of the year. I know one of the few people pounding the table for him was Dane Brugler, and then all of a sudden everyone else caught on, and now Monroe Freeling's being mocked to the number 6 to the Browns in a lot of instances. Which, by the way, Monroe Freeling is a freak athlete. I mean, looks like a tight end playing tackle, basically.
Yeah, he does.
So anyway, long story short, yes, I think I would be okay with that personally. A left tackle at pick 25, and then the rest are defense, because any edge you take at 25, more likely than not, is not the difference between your defense being good and being bad. It can help, but it's not gonna like all of a sudden make your defense a top 10.
You're totally right. Like if
you have a left tackle, could be the difference between why you win or lose a playoff game.
Well, that's why I wonder if it makes more sense for us to trade up. You know what I'm saying? Because we can trade up in the draft with that 25 pick, and then use one of the lower picks at the edge.
Straight up to where for who?
If somebody's there like 17 to 20, that's, you guys love, that's, could be something. Have you guys have a history of trading up? You said no, correct? It's been a history of trading back, correct?
Not with this current regime.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
In the past, like the Ryan Pace era, yeah. I mean, they traded up for like Justin Fields, right? For example, they traded up for Tevin Jenkins.
All right. Fields, nine offensive years. Poor guy. Sorry.
I was gonna say, my problem with trading up is, unless you're getting into the top 7 or so, and you're going for Arvell Reese if he fell, David Bailey if he was in striking distance, Caleb Downs if he was in striking distance. The rest of Ruben Bain, I'll throw in there as well. The kind of guys in that 17-ish range, it's just, I don't think there's a big enough difference there. Like, you're not really getting someone that you couldn't get someone similar-ish, I think, at 25. Because there's about 4 to 5 elite prospects in this draft. And then I think most people are agreeing there's only about 13 quote-unquote first-round picks in this class, however you want to put that. So yeah, I mean, if that's the case, why am I trading up to 17 for someone who's a second-round pick that I could just take at 25?
Well, I don't think they make a trade unless it's into the top 10.
Yeah, and that will cost you
a lot.
Future first to move from 25 to 9
and more.
That's a lot, and like unless I thought I was a Ruben Bain away from winning the Super Bowl, which I don't think they are, just because that entire defense is doo-doo.
Two quick questions that just triggered my memory. Who's the best player in the draft in your opinion? I know mine. And is Simpson a first round talent?
Answer your second question first. No, he is not a first round talent.
Thank you.
He is a bottom of the second to third round talent.
Smoke when it comes to my team wanting him. It's smoke. It is. Go ahead.
I was literally gonna say, if there was a trade down, I kind of have circled like maybe the Cardinals will trade up.
They brought him in today on purpose for the whole league to know we want him. There's no way we want him. He's not a first round draft pick. Go ahead. Who's the best player in your opinion?
I'm a sucker for this. It's my favorite position. It's a position I played in high school, so that taints my point of view. I can't help it, but it's Jeremiah Love.
Thank you. The best player in this draft is a running back.
And that's the thing. Like, your best 3 players are probably three of the least sought after, positions in terms of like, it's Jeremiah Love, who's a running back, an off-ball linebacker in Sonny Styles, and it's a safety in Caleb Downs.
The guy you just mentioned is my second best player in the draft, in my opinion, Styles.
And it's just, if you're a team who's sitting in the top 4, you're both kind of happy and sad. You're annoyed because you're like, we sucked. We earned ourselves the 3rd overall pick, and where's our Myles Garrett-esque player, right? Where's our Caleb Williams-esque player, Drake May, one of those kinds of guys, and they're just not necessarily in this draft. So that's why you're the Titans at 4, and you might be taking Jeremiah Love, which it's so hit and miss, because think about last year with Genty going to the Raiders. Genty's not a bad player. The Raiders weren't ready for Genty, right? Their line was bad. They don't have a quarterback. There's the litany of other reasons. And so he just got screwed where he went. And so people are looking at Genty as a bad pick. No, it wasn't a bad player. Yeah, it was just bad process. So I really hope Love goes to a team that I can be excited for him for.
Oh,
I don't want
no.
him to just end up in like
Oh,
the cruddy
I
situation.
totally know. I hope to God at 3 we don't draft him. Just because I'm a little self-centered. I don't want him there for fantasy purposes. And I don't want my Cardinals destroying his career because my Cardinals are in a bad spot right now. I appreciate your draft knowledge, all your nuggets you're giving the people at home. Before we wrap this up, there's one little other thing I want to show you since we have you on. Today is April 15th, tax day. To win the NFC, as of right now, your Bears are 13-1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams in front of you guys as of right now. I feel like I might put some action on that. Thoughts off the top of your head, real quick? I know you do a little bit of betting.
I would take that action because 13-1. I mean, that pays off pretty well. And the NFC North is funky though, right? I mean, it's literally a different person wins it every year because the teams are good. I'm not gonna, even though I got Lions and Packers fans in my mentions to hate on the Bears. That's why football's great. Because there's a lot of parity, right? First to last to first, all that jazz. And that's why the NFC North is great because even when the Vikings had a pretty horrendous quarterback playing for them, actually multiple because they had Carson Wentz going there for a couple of games, they were still in the mix for a while. It wasn't like, oh my God, the Vikings are out of this right away, right? I mean, they lost, and the Bears lost them in the first week. They lost to 9, which is still crazy to say out loud. And it can be frustrating when you look at that list and you say, well, we won the NFC North. Why the heck are the Lions and the Packers ahead? And it was kind of like we talked about with the C on your helmet. The Bears still need to prove that they can be consistent and they can be that team that you talk about year to year. For all we know, I don't think it's the case, but for all we know, based on Bears history, they could be in last place all of a sudden because Caleb looks terrible and the defense is bad and Ben Johnson starts to lose the locker room because that's the normal way that Bears history goes. Now, I think that's not the case. I think Ben Johnson is built different. I think he's building something special there. I think Caleb Williams is built different and he's got way more skill than previous quarterbacks have. Really, the Bears quarterbacks have ever had. I don't care that he paints his nails and that he is chilling at Coachella instead of at the Masters and all these things that people want to rip him for. So, I think that's a good spot, and I think it's a nice little also bulletin board fodder. I think this team in particular does really well with the whole count us out and we'll wreck you kind of mentality. So good, put him at 12. That'll help even more. Give him more incentive.
All right. Him hanging out at Coachella is not a problem, but what about hanging out with a Kardashian?
Oh.
I'm really just hoping. So technically, yes, they were like 10 feet away in the same section.
That's kind of where I was at too. Is like just because they're in the same room, it's
I will say, if the clip had him like directly like holding hands or talking to her, I'd be a little more up in arms. Like, stay away from my quarterback. Half serious, half joking. But like as far as I think, also just and I already said built different. I mean, Caleb was brought up.
Good parenting. We talked about this last time.
Yeah, like he was just prepared for this. He was, and also a lot of these athletes are already. The NIL thing has changed the landscape so much with most players, just because they're already doing commercials and they already are millionaires. A lot of them, just because of the money that they're getting. So it's not this brand new thing where all of a sudden it's like, ooh, money and fame. I mean, a lot of these, like a wide receiver at Alabama is already one of the most famous people walking around.
True.
Right. I appreciate your time. We've gone a little bit over than what you asked, so I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the time. I appreciate you coming on, Mason. Time flies when we talk. That means it's a good conversation. I want to give you another plug. Tell the folks at home what you're doing for draft night, where they can find you one more time, and what time is your show, and what do you got planned for your show next Thursday during the draft on Bare Bones Podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, you already gave a little plug earlier. I appreciate that, but you can find us Shy Bare Bones. It's weird how many people own Bare Bones monikers at various places. I had to throw Shy in front of everything.
You're totally
It was
right. When I
crazy.
put in bare bones on YouTube, there's like 30 other things that come up. You're totally
It's
right.
insane. But yeah, basically, CHI Bare Bones on YouTube. Same thing on Twitter if you want to follow that direct account. My account, West Sports PT. If you have injury questions, things of that, shoot me those questions. I'm more than willing to try and answer the best that I can when it comes to fantasy football and direct and real football stuff. We have our show tomorrow, which is going to be the last mocks we do. It's going to be like the in-person simulator stuff. And again, the conversations are going to be a bit Bear centric, but we're just going to have some good convos about draft prospects. So even if you're not a Bears fan, it's still something you want to listen to. We are going to have an in-person show a week from tomorrow for the first night of the draft. That's going to be at Theory Bar. That's in the river north of Chicago. And we're doing a bunch of giveaways. I'm really excited. It's going to be everything from, those cheese grater hats that got really popular. I got a couple of those.
I want a cheese grater hat. That's awesome.
I might have to see if I can hook you up with one. I got some cheese grater hats, like I said. I got Windy City Sports sends a bunch of really cool, just Chicago-based
Shout
stuff.
out to Windy City Sports because we're doing some giveaways with them coming up too.
But they're just a fantastic group. So even if you don't,
they're phenomenal.
Absolutely, try to get as much stuff from them as possible.
I think they're 321 Sports something. Don't quote me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give them a proper shout out on the episode.
A gift card from Wild Coat Company, which one of my episodes you saw I was wearing this like bear hat that looks like a bearskin rug almost. But they have a bunch of different animals they do. Obviously, they're not real animals, but they're very cool. They have like attachments you can use for skiing and things. So we're giving away a gift card for that. We're giving away a Colson Loveland jersey. We're going to be giving away a couple of books by the great Bobby Peters. He every year he looks at one, if not two teams, and like breaks down their entire offense in a manual that is just makes you so much football smarter. That was not a smart sentence, but basically football smarter. I'm giving away a couple of those. Go check out his stuff. He sells them on Amazon. I mean, he has tons of teams. The Lions, he usually does good offenses. So if you have a bad offense, you're not going to find your book. But like he has a bunch of those up there. I'm trying to think of what else. We're giving away Bond Vets, which is a veterinary clinic in the area, is giving away a gift bag and a coupon to the membership, so you can take care of your pet better. Like,
Holy crap.
we're giving away so much stuff because we love y'all as fans. So if you're even in the area and you hate the Bears but love insert team here, still come by because you can make fun of Bears fans while you're there. It's going to be 7 p.m. Theory Bar, River North, Chicago.
Awesome. Man, you guys got a lot of giveaways. Holy crap. We just got our first gifts to give out. We're going to pick your head after the show if you got a minute, but appreciate you coming in, Doctor. You're welcome here anytime. Appreciate you making time for us. If you ever need, I don't know, us on your show, we're here. Yeah, if you guys ever want, but got a lot of love for you, brother. Snoop, any final words for the great Doctor?
Bear down, baby.
Right.
Let's dude, let's steal this draft again.
That's right. Let's give Mason West an applause. If we could, Snoop. We have a button for that. Brother, and cheers to everybody at home. Thank you so very much for coming on. Had a great time, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Salute, brothers.
Salute. Until next time. Thank you, Mason.
Thank you.
No problem. Stay on for a minute if you could, and that will be the end of our.
What's up, dude? Any final thoughts? After talking to the doctor. I mean, dude, I love talking to people like him because he's so knowledgeable and he definitely knows players. He studies his shit. Like he's definitely on top of his game. He knows what's up. Your microphone's not working, Playboy. Is this your first podcast? But it's all good, folks. These things happen. We have technical difficulties. No, we still can't hear you. But this is what it's like when you go live, Sometimes microphones just don't work.
All right.
There we go. What's up, dude?
Sorry about that. I had it on mute.
Welcome to the podcast. We've only been live for 2 hours and 33 minutes now. So welcome to the podcast. How are you? How's your night going?
Going okay. It's glad to be here. It's my first podcast, so
Right. I mean, there's only
two.
2,000 people watching you right now, so I mean,
All
hello.
right. Come on, get my shit together, Haywood. I love having Mason on. I'm very grateful. I'm privileged to talk to him. He's definitely plugged in. He's a great get. He reminds me of me like 10 years ago with like being glued into the draft. I just don't have the damn time. But he is glued in. He's plugged in. He knows his stuff. He's pretty damn accurate. And I went back to like today. I went back to some of his old stuff from last year. He's pretty right on with nailing picks. So thanks, Snoop, for bringing him on that connection. So go give him a follow. We plugged him a couple times, folks. But all you Bears fans, who is it?
Hey, are you expecting someone?
Oh, shoot!
Let's see who it is. Who is it?
Oh,
Carter.
What up? Wow.
What's up,
you
Playboy?
guys? How are you,
How
man?
you doing?
I'm good.
Nice
Hey,
to see you.
cheers.
Nice to see you.
Cheers.
Hey,
I was
cheers,
listening earlier.
cheers.
Oh, he's got a new mug.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what does it say? Boston is for lovers. Nice, nice.
Of course it is, dude.
How are you, sir?
Good, man. I enjoyed listening to your boy. He was, dude, that guy's deep. He's got a lot of knowledge, man.
Right?
God. No,
Right?
you. No,
I know who you're talking about, right?
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
Jesus, I was just about to give you a compliment too.
Oh, that's all right. I don't need them, man. I don't even fish for those anymore.
No.
Yeah, good podcast, guys. It was good. It was informative, man. I feel like I know a lot about the Bears. Trust me.
Yeah. Mason was awesome. Dude, that's awesome. You're here, Mr. Carter. You're welcome here anytime, brother. Anytime. So, do you like the new logo on the top right?
I do.
Oh, look at this
it's gonna look great on a
braggadocious
mug or
guy
a
over here.
t-shirt, you know?
We're gonna make mugs, by the way.
I love it.
I love it too. So
It's dope, dude. It's very
I know
dope.
we're very dope, but yeah, it was great to have him on, and great to have you here. How are you? How was your day, and how's life, brother?
Oh man, yesterday was tax day, so yeah, I had to prepare some taxes for a company that I work for, so that was tough. Bonus depreciation and all this stuff that I don't really need to know much about, but I have to know much about. But yeah, we got through it, bro. It's all good.
Right on. So we went over a lot tonight. You messaged me on a couple things you would like to talk about real quick, and floor is yours, brother.
No, man, I just think it's pretty interesting. You guys were talking earlier about golf. I caught that.
Oh yeah.
First time we've ever talked about golf.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah, and I know, like I'm not like I'm a hack, man. I break 100, I'm stoked. I'm a Muni guy. Like, it was the 12 pack and a mule kind of thing for me back in the day. But I don't know if you heard about Live Tour and what's happening over there. So that was pretty interesting. But even more important, I want to get your take. We talk about WNBA all the time, and I know that people are going to clown and look, you just went from 2,000 viewers to 1,100 to 900 to 800, but that's where you win the money. But more importantly, like there's some social dynamics going on that I was wondering what your opinion was on it, especially Snoop, because
why especially me?
I don't know, man, 'cause
why
you
you
got
gotta
good
single
opinions.
me out, bro?
Dude, you got good opinions. By the way, what do you think
Well,
of
I
the shirt?
appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank
Do you know who this is?
What you got, Carter?
No, I don't. I can't really see it. I can't really see it. Hold on. Let me make you full screen. What is it? IFA? I can't see. Your microphone's in the way.
JFA.
What is that? Jurassic?
Jodie Foster's Army. You ever heard of that band?
No. Oh shit! Sorry, I removed you from the whole scene. Sorry. No, I don't know. I never heard of them.
You never heard of JFA?
Nope.
I thought you'd be down. I thought you were the man. I thought you'd get it.
He knows a lot of bands,
Oh,
Carter.
now I'm not the man just because I don't know one band on the whole earth.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, you're still the man. Still the man. All right.
Thank you.
Next time I come on, whenever that is, JFA.
All right, send
we'll
me a
have
link or something, or I'll try to look it up. Here, I'll write it down. Actually, 238.
So we got to connect that. Carter, you're going to be on his podcast soon. You should.
Oh yeah. I was gonna. I've been so busy, but I was gonna message you to come on. Yeah, I was just
it's like the
figure out a
narco
good
meme
date.
where I'm swinging and I'm walking around the pool. I'm just waiting for you, man. I'm there, but it's all good.
Cool. I'm excited. Yeah, I got to pick your brain a little bit.
for sure.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah, I
got.
wanted to get your picked brain on what's happening in the WNBA. So Paige Beckers, right? So
You better keep my Sophie Cunningham out of your mouth,
Oh,
dude.
yeah,
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
she's the C stars. You can have them all, right? But anyway, Paige, she plays for the Dallas Wings, right? And Dallas, she's an up and comer. She can put up 25 easy in the WNBA, which is that's a number. But so AZ Fudd just got drafted, and she was the number 1 pick, and she got drafted by the Dallas Wings, and they're dating.
Interesting.
So the dynamic is pretty interesting, right? So it's kind
One
of
big club.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It doesn't really matter. It matters. I mean, how are you going to play with somebody? How are you going to work with somebody? How's that? But today, like Dallas, like during the press conference, they shut that shit down quick. They were like, no questions about that. Please respect their right and privacy. So, like, they didn't even want, you should see the video. The PR team really, they went, full. Like, of course they're going to ask the question, right? I mean, I was just telling my wife and I have worked together for 20 plus years. And people all the time go, how do you work with your wife, right? Or they say to her, how do you work with your husband? And she even said tonight at the dinner table, it's like...
I didn't know that, by the way.
Yeah, we've worked together. We owned our own companies overseas for a little while. And she's kind of been the right-hand man for everything. And she's really the boss. I come up with crazy, stupid fucking ideas. And she's the one that's like, that's not something we can execute. You're an idiot. This is the one we can do. Okay, let's do that. But yeah, she's been by my side and managing businesses for a long time.
Let's do a nice salute to her then. Because
wife.
you're pretty cool, Carter. I enjoyed talking to you, and you're one of those cats just like our guest tonight was, Dr. Mason West. You're very knowledgeable and I love that you're so intricate and know how to like quantify things and find a formula.
Oh my God.
And that's why we talk. That's why the fuck we're talking about the WNBA. All right, listen.
I want to talk about WNBA and golf after we just had like a doctor.
Two things like we've never talked about, but because of you, Carter. But yeah, that's pretty crazy, Brad. Snoop, you're totally right. Carter's got a great mind, man, and I love having him on. I love having him as a friend. So. You guys were talking about bands last week. You talked about Black Flag, Carter. Are you into Pennywise? That's my favorite punk band.
I remember you saying that. We went to the baseball game a year or two ago. I forget, but you were talking about Pennywise. In fact, they're coming in.
I thought he was a clown.
Well, that too. That's true.
They're coming in August. Yeah,
they're coming to town.
Yeah, maybe we all go.
Let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
We'll bring my youngest. They love it.
So let's go. So I've been to like 500 concerts in my day. And the only time I ever crowd surfed was at Pennywise off the stage. So I've seen them like 9 times. So I love them.
Awesome. Yeah, the energy's awesome. And they're getting older and they still have all that energy. It's crazy, But yeah, they're coming soon.
Hold on. I just want to stop you real quick because it's messed up that in the comments they let this comment go through, but you can't even put balls in the comments on Twitter. Isn't that crazy that you can't use the word balls? Like, I'm sorry to like interrupt you, Carter, for this point of nonsense, but
anytime you
isn't that a crazy
balls,
thing?
Dude, let's go.
But like that comment goes through, like what the hell?
Shout out to Poppy Garcia. Thanks for tuning in. I didn't know you were a sports fan. That's freaking awesome, dude. Come join us every week, brother.
Yeah, that is. I kind of read his comments. Yeah, again, the drama. What is it going to be like? How's it going to work? I'm sure it's going to be great, right? I'm sure it's going to be fine. But what happens when you have one of those days, right? That you got to go to work and. Yeah, I want to see that dynamic play. As a guy that bets, I'm looking at it from a betting angle. I could care about the social dynamics, honestly. I could care about it from a coaching angle or a player. I want to know how it affects me as a bettor. Like, how is that going to affect shit on the floor? And if we're having an argument, right, is Paige just going to look the other way and not be passing down low to the post? Like, I need to know all this stuff, so I'm going to follow this closely, man. Maybe that's my lane. Maybe I'm going to go WNBA, like social drama and how that affects the betting angles of assist ratios. Dude, I bet nobody's in that lane.
I bet I can picture it now, though, dude. Like on Netflix, there's like a special, the WNBA better.
And then we bring in Live Golf on top of it, which is literally almost defunct. Yeah, dude, I got good lanes. These are awesome.
They call him Cart Her.
WNBA added to the Pick is in arsenal. Another reason to cancel your Netflix subscription and go to phoneboothpodcast.substack.com. What's up with the Live Golf thing? Tell me about it.
I'm just down. I'm taking it from a political lens because that's all I heard about it today. So I haven't really got into. I'm more into how that's affecting the money for each one of the players. But the high level is essentially Saudi's pissed about everything that's happening in the Middle East, and they're pulling the money out of the Live Tour.
I don't know much about that league, but like I know that they get absorbent amounts of money, though.
Oh, it's crazy. And
blood money.
If you look at a few years ago, and again, I'm not golf guy, but I'm golf guy enough that they were poaching all the guys from the PGA, and that's when Rory stepped up, and Rory was basically saying, hey, listen, I bleed for the PGA because the PGA has a lot of, it means something to me, right? And, Jack meant something to me. All these guys meant something to me, and I want to be a legacy player in the PGA. I don't want to jump for money. And he went, full 10 toes down on I'm staying with the PGA, passed up, and I forget what the number was. Somebody out there will know, but I'm talking almost $1 billion worth of like guaranteed earnings. So stay with the PGA and help them kind of refine their model and make it a little more palatable for today's consumer, and just to give it a little more life. And everybody jumped to the Live, and they were giving out, big money. I'm talking 40, 50, 60, 80 million dollars from people that are like, dude, you're like a top 25, top 30 golfer. Like, you're not that guy, And so, yeah, I guess the money's drying up, but the political connection, I could care less. If you're right, left, blue, it doesn't matter. But Live has a connection with Trump's courses, you know what I mean? So it's really going to affect, and that's really some of the background on all this. So it's worth like a deep dive if you're a geek or if you care about politics or you want to follow the money or see what's happening. But yeah, it looks
we don't talk about our Lord Trump on this podcast. All right,
yeah, glowing hands, right? Let's go.
Okay.
But yeah, it's very interesting, and I want to see what's going to happen to all those dudes that jumped because the PGA turned their back on most of them and basically said, this is it. You're excommunicado if you do this. Like, you're not coming back. So now I want to see the big names, if they're actually going to come back in the PGA, how the PGA is going to accept that, and what kind of remuneration are they going to get in terms of, are they going to compensate them in any way? Or are they basically going to say, hey, kick rocks. Now you got to literally, you lost your card. Now you got to come back on. You got to earn it. You're not getting automatic qualifiers anymore. Like, so again, not golf guy, but interesting.
What about the LPGA though?
I know nothing about it.
Oh, okay. I thought you would.
Actually, I did live overseas. So the LGB PGA did come through Shenzhen, China, and Hong Kong. So, I
have a friend. I have a friend that moved to Shenzhen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's where we used to have our business, dude.
Oh, you really? Wow. Yeah. You go there?
I used to live there. I lived there.
Ooh,
I went to,
what's it like over there?
Back then, a little different. Now,
I want to say my friend moved there like in the aughts, like maybe 06 or 07, something like that.
That's when I was there. Yep.
Hey, aughts, not bad for a 69 IQ, huh, Carter?
That's a deep cut right there. I had to think. Yeah, that's
all you haters out there.
2004, 2006, 2008, 2010. I think we came back over here, between here and California, right around.
That's when you worked with Shaq out there, correct?
No, that was the second run through.
Okay.
So that was back about 10 years ago on that one. Before it was action sports industry, music industry. Okay. We were, running some licensing and things like that, making apparel, skateboards, things like that.
Snoop, Carter, every time like he talks about his background, name drops, kind of like what you can do because how many people you met, with how many people he has worked with. Like there's a new name every single time. Not to float your boat, Carter, but you got some pretty impressive background.
I appreciate that. Yeah, there's some names in there, and some of them are real, pieces of work, and some dudes are really cool.
Yeah, that's what I always say too. Like I've met some characters that you're just like, well, I mean, they're good at what they do.
Speaking of a character, this is a guy that's pretty much of a character that we.
Let me blow that up. Hold on, give me a second. Boom.
Oh wow, Floyd.
Floyd Mayweather. Is that
That's
who
a
that was?
young Carter. Yeah.
So some of these dudes are.
Dude, so he used to go to this. I used to live in Las Vegas, right? I lived there for like 20 years, and he, lives out there. And he used to rent out this roller skating rink. And dude, one night, like we had just left there, and then he showed up at this roller skating rink, and his driver got in a shootout like in the neighborhood right by there. It's like not in a really good neighborhood of Las Vegas back then. Like it was, a little rough, but somehow his driver got in a shootout. It was like a big ordeal. He went to this roller skating rink.
Tuesday in Vegas.
Yeah, it was nuts.
If you want to hear something crazy, like the roommate that lived with me before you, who lived with me, used to detail Floyd's cars in Vegas all the time. That's pretty crazy. Hey Carter, did you listen to my son segment?
I did.
I'm very I'm not just a homer, I think, with my head, but I kind of went off. You had when I texted you about the game, it was pretty dialed in with the analysis, right?
Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah.
Like straight up, like that game pissed me the hell off.
This guy just needs a pat on the back or something.
No. I love his feedback, good or bad. So that's why
even my wife was talking about Booker, and she's not. She's a sports fan, but it's super casual, right? But the fact that like Booker is, he's breaking free throws. I don't know, man. I mean, I've always thought of Booker as clutch, right? He's a good player, man. I'd love to,
Is there rebuild basketballs like what Snoop showed earlier with the golf balls?
Yeah.
How do you miss 5 free throws in the freaking last 7 minutes of the game, 6 minutes of the game?
Is it the Kardashians?
It gets me thinking, like, what is that? Like, I don't know, man, but that's not clutch. And that's
right.
I mean, how many times are we sitting there, like, from a betting angle going, oh, man, there's 3 minutes left. I need this guy to get to the line. I need 2, right? And he, sinks one out. VJ sinks 1 out of 2. And you're like, God, and you get hooked. You don't expect that from Booker.
Not at
You
all.
just don't expect Booker to be break in and kind of shrink or wilt. And again, I mean, we can all have games. I mean, I'm a Larry Bird homer. I get it, but
Celtic Pride, great movie.
Oh, that is a deep, dark movie, dude. It's good.
That is a good movie.
But it was a very odd night. Kawhi and him played similar games last night.
Yeah, in fact, you text and you were like, "Where's Kawhi?" Right?
Like, yeah, what?
I live bet Kawhi and I live bet Kawhi and
Meyer, what's up, Meyer? That's rude.
What's up?
Thank you for the repost, Meyer. Thank you. We're doing great.
Meyer Show. Shout out to the Meyer Show if he ever puts out a show.
I know, right? All right. And shout out to Tip. I drank with him in Vegas. I woke up in my room. Shout out to possibly. Shout out to Tip Major. He reposted the show. Appreciate you, Tip.
Nice.
Thank you. I love how Poppy's interacting. That's awesome. We're getting some good comments tonight. But yeah, it was a very odd night with just those two. Dude. I have no idea. No games tonight, right?
No games tonight. We're hitting it hard tomorrow. In fact, I had to bet hockey tonight, which made me pissed off because it just destroyed my winning. Oh, by the way, did you see the graphic I sent you?
With the money thing?
Come on, man.
Well, dude, you don't send me graphics, Carter. What's going on,
you can
buddy?
send that to Snoop to put up.
This guy?
That guy.
Oh, hold on. Let me blow that up for you. What is that?
All right. So what about
so this is
1984?
April.
What does that say?
What?
1994?
Yeah, that's money. Money. Hold on. I will pull this up.
All right.
Now,
bragging about your money and shit.
I'm bragging about my betting. I'm not going to brag about it. Nobody else is.
I brag about you. I always do.
All right, hold on. I'm going to share.
Shout out, Meyer, dude. What's up, man?
What a Meyer.
Let me share this.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is why I really came on. I didn't want to talk about golf or women's basketball. I wanted to brag.
All right. Go ahead. Be braggadocious.
So I'm very lucky to have you, Carter. Go ahead, brother, and tell the folks at home why I always brag about you.
So yeah, this is my FanDuel account for this month for April. So so we started with 350. So my goal is to withdraw twice a month. I want to withdraw on the 16th, and I want to withdraw on the 30th and 31st, and I want to withdraw 500 or more. That is my goal every single month. Can't say it happens every month, but that's my goal. At least 500 each time. So that brings me down. I started the month with 350. So my record for April, all live bets, it's not one bet a day either. I went 13-2 on days. So I had 13 winning days, 2 losing days, and one of those losing days was only 40 cents. So, I mean, that's technically not a losing day, but I'm going to classify it as a losing day, and the other day was $40. So I averaged $109 in winnings per day. My ROI was $469. And this is my kitty before I started betting NHL tonight that just took $94.18 of that bad boy. So we're not going to do that again. But yeah, this is all pretty much NBA live betting. So that's my April. Not bad, right? I mean, so
pretty good. That's pretty good. I lost $8 on X, Twitter.
That's another story.
Plus I was betting on what did I hit the other day? I hit some soccer too on top of it.
You bet on soccer?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not it was Champions League stuff, so I was I was just messing.
You don't do the Premier League?
I don't. I used to, but I'm not versed in it. I'm one of those guys that doesn't bet on stuff that I really don't know what I'm betting on. You know what I mean? So
that's why I don't bet.
That's why I don't bet.
Real talk, Carter. Have you ever wagered on table tennis?
I have. Yeah, I have. There's a guy on X about 4 or 5 years ago that I was following, and he was awesome. He knew so much. He was so deep. So I just tail his bets. It's not like I knew what I was doing. But yeah, I tailed him for a little while, and then there's another guy knew tennis a lot, and I was tailing him for a little while. But I don't like to put trust in a lot of people, so I stopped. I don't tail anybody.
Let me ask you this.
That's it, Haywood.
Let me ask you this. You ever bet on somebody in a pool hall, like a pool player?
Of course.
Yeah. Dude, I used to bartend in a pool hall, and man, it's a lot of fun, a pool hall.
Oh, yeah.
Pool hall is an interesting place.
I love a good dive bar, man. You're talking to a guy that, loves a good dive bar. So,
well, I mean, not just a dive bar, but like a pool, like a legit pool hall that has, like a lot of tables, Sure. It's an interesting place because you run into like a lot of hustlers, a lot of gamblers, it's a fun place.
I can totally see Carter being the tin cup of the bar.
No, I got a really
tin
good
cup.
for you.
Off the board, off the rafters, nothing but net.
I got a quickie for you. This is a good one. So we were in a pool league, right? And this was in I won't mention the town, but it was in Southern California. And we were
Rancho Cucamonga.
Close. But it was a co-ed, right? So you had to have a certain number. I think you had to have 3 girls on your team, and team of 10. I think there was 5 or 6 games a night. Blah 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 blah. Forget exactly. I mean, this is literally before I got married, so we're talking 30 probably years ago. I was in my 20s. So my girlfriend at the time, she was okay. She's a pretty good pool player. If you carry your own sticks, you're considered pretty good, right? You start.
I don't know about that. I mean, I had my own stick, but I'm not that great.
That's what we hear. But we recruited this girl, and she shows up for the first game. This is a true story. I should have my buddy Kevin on and tell it because he tells it so much better. She shows up for the first game, drunk, the first night, drunk, with a cast on, playing pool, a wrist cast.
Her right hand or shooting hand?
Her left hand.
Left, okay.
She's righty, but left hand. And we all, we assumed the position like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. She was such a ringer, dude. I mean, she smoked everyone. It was so dope to just watch her power through. And these are like, when I say bar pool guys, they're guys that this is their only night out other than maybe bowling, right? So these guys bikers with their cut on. These guys are serious, beard Harley guys, and they're getting smoked by like a 22-year-old girl in a cast, drunk, And so we recruited her, and she became lead. So you put the best player up first or last, and she would always play first or last. And this girl would smoke everybody. Find of the century. I mean, we didn't go to the playoffs, and we didn't, do great, but we didn't lose every match like we were before, But drunk girl in a cast. Wow, we got here.
Dude, I remember when I was bartending at this pool hall in Vegas, there was this he used to work for Domino's Pizza. You remember that place? He delivered pizzas for him, and he had one arm, and he would come in and just run the table, dude. It was nuts. I was like, holy shit, dude. Oh, one arm fucking Domino's pizza driver was fucking killing it.
It's like the one guy, the kid with the paraplegic kid, the one with the he's a quadriplegic, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah, I heard about that.
Crazy story.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
is crazy. But yeah,
But he does have the right to bear arms, though. You got to give him that.
of course. There's a joke in there, I know, but I can't touch it. But, hey, yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I
man.
respect people that can shoot a good game of pool. I mean, I've always had a pool table pretty much in my house, and I'm dangerous, but
All right.
watching
all right.
somebody that can really shoot, and just knows where to leave it exact. Oh,
Yeah, like I used to like
love.
to watch the straight pool players. Just watching them, run that,
Yep.
couple hundred balls. You're like, holy shit.
It's crazy.
Johnny Ervolino. I used to see him all the time. I don't know if you know who that is, but
No, I don't know. I don't know who that is.
he was like a real big pool player back in the day. But then
Okay.
he went to prison for something. I'm not even sure what for. But then that kind of ruined his career. But after he got out, he used to come into the pool hall all the time, and I would just watch him run the table. I'm like, damn, like
crazy.
just 100 balls, 200 balls at a time. You're like, holy shit.
Well, I don't know if you know Fats. What's his name? Fats Domino.
Fats Domino.
Yeah, Fats
Yeah.
Domino. Like that stuff was on TV, like on Saturday mornings and stuff. Like when I was growing up, like pool and I'm from back east, so candlepin bowling was on. Like, dude, we were talking about bowling, ping pong, women's basketball, and golf so far tonight.
Oh, that'll make you drink.
This will take a detour quick.
Jeez. You gonna start betting on mini golf next? Well, I mean, where do you draw the line?
I'm telling you right now, this is the money making season. So the fact that, I mean, coming into April and being able to like make good money, and again, the month before I was doing good, but this is money making season. This is it right here. This is
When is not money making season, Carter? Because I like to try to make money every month. It doesn't work out most of the time, but
football weeks 12 through 17, probably. That's about the time that's not money making season.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Carter. Usually in the past, without your adapting to live betting, usually the end of NBA is like one of the worst times of the year. So you definitely change that around.
It's terrible. I mean, again, and my criticism of a lot of people is, and again, I'm not criticizing them. I'm criticizing the betting style. Is they continue to bet. They're not looking at live data, and that's what stresses me out because you have to adapt to anything, right? I mean,
sure.
You have to know who's coming off the bench or who's going to get the minutes. We talked about this last time in a blowout. You're going to have to know that like it's the end of the season and you're going to make the playoffs. So you're going to start resting people a little more. So the rotations are going to change. You have to be up to date on what's happening. You have to understand that, maybe Collins isn't going to go for 15 tonight, but, watch his minutes, watch the subs, and see if you can get to 10. Wait till he's on the bench and then, catch him at 6 points when, maybe the books think that he might sit for a little while, but you think he's going to come back in and then you can get him for, who knows, minus 210 or minus, 180 rather than, so looking for some of the better angles.
Are you still doing role players? Or are you concentrating more on superstars now because it's playoffs?
Now it's playoffs. Yeah, I'll switch. But yeah, I'm B, C, and D guys like for the last 2 months, pretty much. The guy, and I bet a lot of 5 points, and it's hard to find on FanDuel, right? Betting 5 points is really difficult to find. But if you package 3 to 5 guys for 5 points, 2 guys for 10, you can juice something up to plus 210 pretty easy, or plus 240, 250. Put $50 on it, $25, whatever your amount is, and you're doubling your money, tripling your money. So
You've been killing it. Like I get off work, I check my phone. I was like 8 pictures from you of all your hits yesterday or whatever.
Yeah, I went 5 for
Like, you're
6
doing great.
last night, and I got hooked on that Methuen. You got hooked too on him. He missed that shot at the end.
Yeah.
I would have gone 6 for 6 last night, which
That's amazing, brother. That's amazing. Let's go.
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in and it's me, right? I sit here and I smile to myself. I'm like, dude, I fucking got that one. And I text you, but the moment when you can identify somebody that's a B or C player, or even a D player that's going to go for 5 or 10 or sometimes 15 points, and you can catch them on the run when the odds are in your favor. I really geek out on that. I think that's still where the gambler has the advantage. The algorithm sometimes doesn't catch up. Again, we talk about the real app and being able to watch data in real time, and I think still, and again, I'm always on FanDuel, even though it sucks, but I think it has a slower reaction to, I don't know why. I don't know what the API they're using. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I can catch FanDuel a little better on odds. In fact, last night, 2 nights, when it was Collins. He stayed positive for a long time. And I'm like, why is he positive? And
Right.
I overthought it. And then I watched it switch in real time. So the algorithm 30 or 40 seconds later finally said, oh yeah, he's at 6 or whatever the number was. And it caught it, and it made it its adjustment. If you're there live, you can catch it pretty quickly, which I think is pretty cool. Okay.
Can I ask you what the geek inside of you thinks about the Suns tomorrow night?
I really like the Suns. I think they're a really solid team. I don't know.
Okay, but
whether-
that's you're dodging the question. what do you think
Well,
about
I
the
think
game
that David
tomorrow?
had a great point. There was no coaching adjustments in the last game. They didn't adjust, right?
Not at
So
all.
if you're going to coach like that and you're going to put it on your superstars to carry the game, we're not at that level of NBA anymore. We have to come in with a game
Right.
plan, and we have to,
Right. Carter, let me pick your head. So, I was talking about Robert Williams. He was getting bullied. He got like a quick foul. He came out, didn't play many minutes, and that kind of limited us with our coach not getting some of those younger guys with our length. Why don't you play like a Molly Watcher or Fleming for a couple minutes, right?
I don't know. And they've been putting in good minutes, right? And I don't understand. And that's what they shorten the bench so much, right? And this is a play. I don't know, man. I'm all for shortening the bench in NBA season. I mean, I get it, right? You're going to roll 8 guys or 6 guys or 7 guys, and those are your dudes. But if you know that Fleming can pick up, 5, 6, 7 minutes and contribute a couple rebounds, a couple points, then he should get some time. I don't know. I just didn't see you nailed it. I was looking for it going, what is wrong here? Is it all Booker? Is it not all? What is happening here? And then, Jalen was coming out and he was firing, and I'm like, okay, here it comes. I think you guys were up by 8. What?
Yeah, we were, and it was the first time I saw a team pick up our point guard 90 feet for 3/4 of the game. Like adjustments.
Yep.
Like, well, how come Booker didn't become point book? He had no assists in that fourth quarter. That's one thing I was questioning. Like, if you're not scoring, at least be a distributor.
Yeah, and your mind is, you got a coaching mind. I got a betting mind, right? I'm looking at it from the angles of like, okay, how come
I have a conspiracy mind.
you do?
Allegedly.
That's all right.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. To the files.
And just so everybody knows, this last segment, folks, is improv. Carter, this is totally improv. So go ahead. Sorry.
Carter, do you bet on the WWE?
No, I don't think you can.
Why not?
I think it's scripted.
Right.
I don't want to say the word FAKE
Okay.
because then, God forbid, somebody's going to slap me in the ear.
All right.
I mean, it's the entertainment industry, right?
I mean, I
This should
respect
be-
those people as athletes.
NFL is an entertainment
And I know, Hayward,
organization.
you're a huge fan. I know you are.
Oh, yeah.
I respect immensely what they do. I like the storylines. I think there's some cool stuff in there. Doesn't per se, float my boat, but I'm not
Well,
like,
always bet on the Undertaker if you do. I'm just saying.
okay, brother. There you are.
Yeah, a little bit of a fan. A little bit.
Mhm.
A little bit.
I know you are. And I'd be like, are you betting tonight? You're like, no, I'm watching whatever.
Wrestling.
Yeah, watching wrestling.
But dude, I want to do a cheers to all the people watching. We have now broken a record for the Pick Is In for the longest show and the most live viewers. Snoop,
All
how many
right.
people do we have, brother?
Good. We're getting close to 2,400.
Cheers to all the people at home.
everybody.
Thank you
Cheers to
so
all of
much.
you.
Appreciate you putting up with
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
God bless you guys.
Boston is for lovers, and so is the Pick Is In.
That's right. You guys do a good job, man. I was listening to you the whole time. I was gaming over there with the kids, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, it's really polished. I like it. I can enjoy listening to you now, Hayward.
Worked really hard to get things better and clean up and just try to get better. I love doing this. So thanks to Snoop pushing me, and I got great support people like you in my inner circle. So appreciate you. We're working really hard, and just gotta keep doing what we're doing. That's all.
You
Be
said
grateful.
Something important earlier. You said something of my mentor taught me that, not to announce the guest until So, Snoop, I know you have a big influence on Haywood. Not to turn this into the self-flatuation society, but you guys do a good job. So
We're a good mix together.
You're gonna bring a
man.
tear to my eye over here, guys. Calm down.
Yeah, well, see, we gotta say good things about ourselves. Nobody else is gonna, right?
All right. Freaking
But, yeah, thanks for putting me on, and I appreciate it. And whenever you need me to fill in a segment or two,
Dude, you can come on anytime you want, brother.
anytime. Yeah, you don't even have to ask. Click a link and jump on anytime you want, dude. Anytime you want. You're more than welcome.
You got the link unless I change it.
yeah, right. There you go. I didn't know it was the same link every time. Now you're in trouble. Gonna be like, damn it, ding dong again, this motherfucker.
So since I have you here, Carter, and you've been Mr. Live Bet, playoffs are here. Are you doing any type of pregame or strictly your in-game live bet still?
I'm gonna probably do what I did with WNBA for the playoffs. I'm gonna do a few pregame bets. All right, as long as the juice is there, as long as I can get the odds I want, then I'll probably put a few in. But I've only bet, I think, one or two. I think I hit both of them. I told you I bet two.
Your pregames.
Yeah,
You hit,
two pregames all year. All
Yeah.
year. And people are like, "How do you do that?" And it's like, dude, you got to treat it like a job. You got to be in front of your screens. You got to be focused. It's day trading. Like, you can't let up. You can't take a break. You can't be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go vibe out to the song," or, the wife wants to talk to me about why my shoes are in the living room. Like, I don't get time for it. Like
You can't vibe out to this song. That's funny.
we got to lock in. We got to make some money. I showed her how
But
much.
you don't
money
you
we
don't
made.
think vibing out to a song sometimes will help you keep your focus on the prize?
It helps
I
me
mean-
game better. It doesn't help me bet better.
So I talked to the guitar player from the band Kicks yesterday, and that episode comes out next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on the Here's the Thing page at Snoop Von Poop. And, oh man, I totally lost track of thought of what I was saying there. But
You're talking about music and the vibe and how it helps you get in the zone and
Right. So like I listened to a bunch of his old songs to get in the mood. I didn't prepare any questions or what I was even going to talk about. But I just listened to a couple of songs and then just went right into the interview, and we had a great chat, man. It's cool.
It's awesome. Yeah, I love talking to musicians. I love talking to people that I like the stories. I like the behind the scenes of when they didn't have it, and playing the shitty bar where they basically had to work for tips, and to where they are now. Like, I enjoy listening to people's stories. I think that musicians have some of the best stories.
Well, one of the things that I wanted to talk to him about the most was like his diet. Like, he lives like a pretty clean lifestyle. He's pretty much carnivore, but he had just when I talked to him, he had just wrapped up a sardine diet of like sardine diet of like I think it was like maybe 6 days. I think he did or something like that. But yeah, I was like,
I'm gonna be honest with you, never heard of that.
yeah.
My wife's Filipino. She eats sardines, but I've never heard of a pure sardine diet.
I've never had one, I don't think.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's like our good friend Jonah Stormrider. He just did a 5-day fast with just using fasting salts.
Okay, yeah,
Just to get like the electrolytes and whatnot. And he
So when
did
I
good,
lived in
dude. He
China-
lost like 20 pounds in a week or something. Wherever he
Yeah,
did
that's what my
five
boys
days
did.
or 7. I can't remember.
When I lived in China, all my friends were pretty much expats, and what they'd do is they were golfing dudes, and they'd go to Thailand for a week, and
Did they have remote control golf balls too, or no?
no, they just fast and do other things that probably they shouldn't have been doing, but they did them. And but yeah, they'd come back 20 pounds lighter. It's like they would go to these retreats and they'd play golf during the day, they'd fast, and they'd do all this, like, I don't know, juice. I don't even know what they did, but they came back 20 pounds less, and I was like, oh, cool. How much you pay for that? Oh, a couple grand. Awesome. And then, of course, 2 weeks later, they put the 20 pounds back on because, they're doing the exact same shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like anything. Is if you can keep it off. I mean, I lost 55 pounds.
In a row?
Yeah, in a row. Like, over 7 months, dude. In a row.
Over 7 months? That's pretty good, dude. Damn.
Yeah, but keeping it off is tough because you're like, oh, I can eat Ruffles again, or I can sit down and like.
No, you can't eat carbs ever again. Stop eating carbs, people. Listen, we at the Pickers In podcast do not condone good eating. We don't try to give health advice, but stay away from carbs.
Unless they're yummy.
Unless they come in alcohol form. That's okay. That's acceptable.
I mean, there's a caveat there someplace. Unless it's in a beer.
No, actually, dude, beer sucks. Let's be
I hate
honest.
I mean, honestly, that is the one thing that I know. And again, we're an Asian family. My kids are obviously Irish, Filipino. My wife's Filipino, and we eat a lot of rice. But I'll tell you, man, the rice cutting off the rice has made such a difference to me in terms of like energy. For some,
Yeah.
it just made me so lethargic and just tired and just. I don't know, man. So yeah, I think carbs to me just kind of like they weigh me down and they made me a little grumpy and just
Yeah,
lazy.
that's the same with me. That's the same with me. I remember one time eating like a grilled chicken sandwich, and like I got it from a grocery store, and it was like, one of those pre-made things, and I remember eating it, chewing it, and thinking like, as the bun was like melting in my mouth, like, God damn, this is probably what just sits in my gut right now. Like, this is not good.
Can't think like
Like,
that.
yeah, no, and it disgusted me. So I'd like lost my taste for bread. Like, I just can't. I
Oh,
can't
come on,
eat it
man.
much
Dude,
anymore.
I actually had a sourdough slice of toast this morning. And that is some. You don't like sourdough, bro?
I do like bread. I enjoy like a good wheat bread. I really do. I cheat. Like I don't live by the book. But
They're
you
like,
know,
now these motherfuckers are talking about.
I never fucking
sourdough
buy bread though.
Like, who are these guys?
Who is this?
Dude, we just had a doctor on the podcast. Are you
I know,
kidding
right?
me?
Now we're talking about
We're like
sardines
big
and
time now.
sourdough bread. Dude, that's what the episode should be titled. My segment, sardines and sourdough bread, right? With a splash of I don't even know.
What was the
What do you
segment
do?
last week? This is the stupid but awesome segment.
Mhm. I think I bring that to you guys. I think that should be what I bring. Just a bunch of like random fucking bullshit.
We need El Poopy back on just for you.
Yeah, I enjoy.
Did you hear El Poopy is leaving town?
Yeah, he's moving.
Where's
He's
he going?
moving.
They don't have to
Yep.
disclose.
He's going.
but
He's going for
staying
greener pastures.
He's
in
moving.
country?
He's
He's
taking
like
a
going. He's going somewhere where they have like water and stuff.
No
Yeah.
extradition.
No
new career
extradition.
opportunity. New career opportunity. He has even. We're like his best friends. He still hasn't even told us, but
Good for him.
we saw.
But he
good for
posted
him.
it like on the internet. So
Right,
I wish
Good
him
for
the
him.
best. I wish him the best. I hope that treaty stays non-extradition.
Right.
Yeah,
Did I tell you Tom Hanks was his uncle? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh shit. That's fucking hilarious. That's
I mean,
hilarious.
I'm not saying he's going to Greece, but whatever.
That is funny.
Carter, how was your action tonight, brother?
I got smoked on NHL. I don't, I had a few good nights with NHL, and I try to do the same thing. My NHL approach is all live betting. I look at who
Live
has a lot-
betting? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so shots on goal, but I also
Okay.
look at hits because I feel if somebody's, I grew up in Boston, right? I love hockey, and honestly, NFL, they're 1-2, 1A, 1B for me, especially playoff hockey. Nothing like it. So understand the sport, understand, my dad played semi-pro. I feel like I really understand it. So I look at activity. I look at activity level because I feel if somebody's got the jump, then, if they're hitting, if they're shooting, right, then, the puck's going to be on their stick. They're going to be a playmaker. They're going to want the puck. They're going to be active. So I play live betting hockey the same way that I do kind of NBA, right? So I look for a lot of activity. And it was serving me well last week. This week, not so much. And I think it's, and this is I think today's the last day of NHL. So, again, I'm probably going to learn next year and don't bet, NHL. But there's nothing to bet tonight. So, yeah, I wasted $89 on that crap tonight.
Well, if you'd have bet on us having 2,500 viewers tonight, you'd be
Record.
rich.
Dude, that's dope. I told one of my boys who literally does this for a living. He's like, on Twitter? I was like, across all platforms. And I'm like, I think it was 2,100 on Twitter.
And then, you know what? It doesn't include, I think, Facebook. I think the Facebook numbers aren't coming in either. It's kind of nerdy to talk about. I don't really like it, but
Those
We're
are
just-
great numbers, man. Who cares? Fuck.
We're
take-
not
take a victory
gloating.
lap.
We're just keep working hard at it.
Dude, I
and
got
try to provide a good
57
show.
followers on X, man. 50. I could give a fuck how many followers. I could have
Right.
6. My old account when I was running EV.bet, I had
3,000?
thousands. You know, and it's like, I was active. I was in all the chat rooms, all the Discords. I spent all my day trying to get my follower numbers up because why?
I have a Discord. I've never used it. I don't
I
even know
have
what
time
to do with
listen
it. I'm like,
somebody
all right.
posted today, and I don't know how to on my feed. I got a friend that makes $50,000, has $50,000 in cash, and he bets $500 a day in betting. What should I tell him? Tell him don't tell him shit. Let him do whatever the fuck he wants to do. Like, what are we doing? Like, do you know what I mean? And he got hundreds of comments about, what this guy should do. It's like, really?
All right. I'll be honest with you, Carter. You're a lot happier since you left that.
Yeah, I mean, I was grinding for
you grinded.
because I had
You put a lot
subscribers
more-
and I had to give and I had to produce
Yeah.
content and I had to be, witty and all this fucking shit. And it's like
I know how
witty
you
when I
feel.
wanna be witty. And I'm not witty anymore. Like I'm witty when I want to be. I'd come into Discords in the morning and they'd be like, "Where you been? We need," and I'm like, I needed that time. So
Right.
I loved running the algorithm. I love the data. I love crunching. I love coding it out and getting it more accurate, more fine tuned, and more acute. And I'd find something that I found, and be like, "Holy shit! I didn't even realize that I could actually parse the data like this, to say through innings 1-3 or the first 9 outs and this and that." I'd geek out on that shit. But then I'd put it in play immediately. The app would update. Everything would be going on. I'd be like, it felt like such a chore to support. And I wasn't getting rich off of it either. So
He geeks out like that too.
yeah, but it's his mind too, because Haywood wants to satisfy that analytic side of his brain, right? And that's what fantasy was to you. And that's, I think, your battle with betting. It's like you want to have the success, not that you're not a successful bettor, but you want to have the great success that you have in fantasy in betting, and it's not the same. Betting, there's so much chance and timing and it's a changing animal, whereas like fantasy for you it's a set it and forget it. Like you literally are drafting. You're a fucking great drafter, right?
Thank you.
You're great on the wire. You know who to pick up, when to pick them up at the right price, and then you knew who to play. And that's a skill set, but you're a set it and forget it. Whereas that's a pregame bettor, right? And a pregame bettor gets burned that way. And that's why people that don't adjust their style, not you, I'm not talking about you, but anybody that don't
Right.
adjust their pregame style, they're literally taking fantasy, what's the word I'm looking for? Fantasy cues into betting, which
100%. That's
but your fucking players. Of course,
Yeah.
you're going to know that VJ Edgecombe is could get 15 points tonight. But my whole thing is, if he averages 15 points, who fucking cares? What is he going to do tonight? And you're not going to know what he does tonight until you get through the first quarter and know what the read is on what he's doing. Because Maxey may be ball dominant and go, you know what, I want to go for 40 tonight. Or, Paul George pretends he wants to be 7 years ago and jack up.
He pretends he
22
doesn't
shots.
want to be a podcaster anymore.
This motherfucker the other night, he took 18 shots or something. I'm like, Paul George taking 18 fucking shots when I got VJ for 15. Come on, man. Like, what are we doing? Like if I was the coach, I'd sit his ass down. I'd be like, hey, Carter needs to hit a bet. Sit fucking down.
Right?
18
Carter
shots.
does need to hit a bet.
Carter's good.
I'm pulling for you. I'm pulling for you. I'm pulling for you. Hey, can I tell you we have some breaking news?
That's good.
Shoot.
Our Lord and Savior Donald Trump has announced that Iran has agreed to no nuclear weapons.
No way. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Fake
We got to
news.
manipulate the oil market for tomorrow. morning.
Thank you, Jim Rome.
Allegedly.
Thank you.
By the way,
Actually, I do have some breaking sports news that just came across my wire. I want to share it real quick, Snoop, since, this is all improv. I got something I want to share with the folks at home. So the NBA is now going to play an NBA game next season in the city of Mexico.
Let's
something
go.
real small.
The
go.
city of Mexico?
The city of, sorry, in Mexico cities. There you go.
altitude. Oh, is Denver playing there?
Yeah, Denver.
Ah, see, look at that. Because Denver, here's a conspiracy for you. Here you go.
Uh-oh, Snoop.
They play at altitude.
Hold on.
Mexico City's at altitude.
I'm listening.
Oh, shit. Big screen. Go ahead, Carter.
Denver's at altitude, right?
Right?
Mexico
30,
City's
30,
altitude. You
30
literally take an
something
altitude
72.
to
What is it?
altitude.
3672? Is that what the altitude is?
It's like 200 feet, the difference in elevation between
We
the
go
two.
to Flagstaff and it's 12,000 feet. It's like, and they're bragging about 6,300 feet or something. Like, dude, what are we doing? Like 6,300 feet? Sorry, Denver. That's nothing, right? Flagstaff is double that, right? Do you know what I'm saying?
All right.
And
So,
he took a shot at Denver. Who's this fucking guy?
So
30,
next week,
3672 is the altitude of Denver.
Oh, and I picked on Joker last time I was on, remember?
yeah, you did.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I called him out of shape.
Hey, you know what though? The guy produces as out of shape as he is. You know,
I will. It give us and it takes away, man.
is he? Is he? Do you think he's a top 10 passer of all time?
Oh, dude, he has eyes in the back. Like he is genius. I don't know how he does it. There's
Yeah,
a
he's
highlight
pretty-
reel
he's
on
pretty all
YouTube
right.
where he is literally some of the passes he's made are better than Magic Johnson. I mean, they're absolutely
Yeah.
fucking amazing. He is
Where's
great.
Jason Williams on your list?
White
And if you
chocolate?
say anything below 10, I'm gonna end this podcast.
Yeah, well, I guess it was.
He's
pretty
got
good
the
run.
best. He's got the top 5 handles I've ever
Good
seen.
night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. You know, it's a shame.
Shane Carter can never join us again. I honestly, I think it's okay not to have opinions on things, so I don't really have an opinion on white chocolate. I mean, that doesn't mean he's good or bad. He doesn't.
Dude, off the elbow pass? Come
That
on.
was, dude. I practiced that for hours once I saw it when I was a kid.
I don't know,
Man, that was
maybe,
amazing.
Maybe it was. I don't know. He just didn't affect me like that. I guess.
Dude, even Laz can't even do that shit, dude.
Fucking
I
Laz.
thought Steve Nash was. Yeah, I mean, Steve Nash was higher on my radar than.
One
yeah,
MVP 2 times.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I connected with the dude. You know, he's literally what, 6 foot nothing, and you know, yeah. I enjoy watching Nash, and that's saying a lot because I mean I hated Phoenix back then. Like they were not a team that I was very enamored with. So
I'm glad I didn't know you back then. Love
yeah,
you.
you know, again, I get, yeah, things change.
Things changed. That's right.
I hope they win tomorrow. I do.
Yes, they got to win tomorrow. So next week, Carter, your Patriots is drafting 31st overall, and if my math is correct, sometime between the second and third hour of the draft, which starts at 5 o'clock, is when you guys will be drafting. If we happen to have an extended version of the pick is in, like tonight, jump on and talk about your pick because next week.
I have a conspiracy theory for you.
Oh damn! Carter is bringing the bombs tonight,
dude. I need to get on your podcast,
dude.
So they're going to trade out of the first round. So that we don't have to hear from Vrabel. He doesn't have to introduce the first pick. He doesn't have to do any press around the first pick.
Ooh, interesting.
I think we trade out of the first round. I mean, 30.
What if they have Rossini come up and announce the pick?
You know, I don't get the whole. I don't. You know, as a Patriots fan, it's like, dude, we are mired in controversy. This is one of the smaller ones, right? Like, who I could really. This isn't even on my radar in terms of like Vrabel and why he doesn't want to get in front of the media. I mean, you know, we have government officials.
Hold on a second. You don't understand why he doesn't want to talk to the media?
No, I do. I'm saying.
Oh,
like,
okay. I was like, what?
But to me, it's not. You know, to me as a fan, I could care less.
So
as a media guy, I would want to.
Can you tell the viewers like what the story is? Like what would they were seen together in a Sedona hotel or something?
Hour and a half north of here. Yeah.
Hayward probably can give you the gory details a little better than I can.
The gory details.
So in a nutshell,
funny.
there supposedly was a private investigator following them, taking pictures of them at a Sedona retreat. And Rossini is what? Getting a divorce, right? And Vrabel's married, correct?
Right?
Or they're separated. But Vrabel's married, isn't he?
I
think he
thought
is.
separated.
Okay, so I could be wrong on that, but they were just seen together, holding hands, hugging, stuff like that. To be honest with you, it's not even news to me. It's not.
I think the conflict of interest is what people are getting on, right? Because she got a lot of inside information. She's attached herself to a lot of inside information from him. So I think that people are leaning into that. And again,
I
I've kind of
guess.
ignored
I
it because
mean,
I don't really I have a strong opinion about the fact of like, hey, it's the Patriots, so I really don't care. How does it affect them on the football field? I could care less. As long as Vrabel remains the coach, I'm excited. Right?
as a Patriots fan, you guys have had so many
Some
accusations.
manufactured, some not. I mean, come on.
Deflategate. You know what happened?
Well, I mean, that's the real deal. I mean, they deflated the balls, but then again, Aaron Rodgers wanted the balls overinflated. So what's the difference if we go down a couple PSI?
You don't have to
we
preach
go
to
up
me.
a
I
couple
already hate
PSI?
Aaron Rodgers. So
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on. What are we Again, as a guy, as a JV
Oh, man.
quarterback, I like the ball.
What else you got, guys?
overinflated, okay. So I like the ball pumped up. I feel like, I don't have the biggest hand. I have average hands. Everybody have average hands. And for me, I felt like, I want an overinflated football because I feel like I get a better spin on it. So who cares if a professional quarterback wants it overinflated, underinflated? When you start creating people's names to be the deflator and he literally, his job is to deflate footballs, I think that might be a little, yeah. But what else did he do? Well, he did some other things. He wasn't just the deflator. Do you know what I mean? It's like media ran with this shit so much, and it's just to me.
Yeah, there
it's-
was the guy that snuck in inside video footage. Remember?
I have
That was
no,
the-
I,
I think what you're talking about, Snoop, is the Carolina Panthers New England Patriots Super Bowl.
Or they filmed the
when-
practice or whatever.
Yeah, from his wrist in his sleeve, there was a camera. This guy that worked for the Patriots, dressed up in Carolina Panthers gear, had a media pass, and walked in on the most important practice of the Super Bowl the Thursday before, and he caught every play on tape and gave it to Belichick.
Plus, there's the whole massage gate thing. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to not like the
hey
Patriots.
man, I mean, what's the big deal there? Like, who cares?
you
An
ain't
old man wants a little rub and tug. I mean, I'm an old man. I mean, my wife passes away, and geez, come on, like I don't. See that. Jeez.
I bet
That's
they're nice
silly.
in Shenzhen, huh?
No comment.
Oh man,
We could have a whole separate podcast.
Yeah.
I had to go to 29 different countries, most in Southeast Asia. I'm talking Bangladesh, Vietnam, South Korea, China, Philippines, Japan, where else? Sri Lanka. It's there's amazing different foods. It's just amazing different cultures. It's
So I gotta ask you a question. I asked one of my friends, who's a pretty well known guitar player, Kerry Kelly. Shout out Kerry Kelly. He plays with Night Ranger right now. And
Really?
I asked him. Yeah, he's
He
been
lives
all
out-
over the
He lives
world.
out here, right, Snoop?
No, he lives in California, but like he's been all over the world. And I asked him, I was like, dude, where's the fucking like best place you've ever been? And he says Southern California, where he lives.
In
And
terms
I'm like,
of what was his
really?
criteria?
I go, really? I go, well, so what he said is that, he has the beach a certain amount of minutes away, and then he has like snowboarding a certain amount of minutes away. Like he just has access to like every kind of, and it's close to LA, it's close to Vegas, it's a few hours from Phoenix. And he's right, it's a pretty dope place. But I'm like, dude, you've been all over the fucking world. And that's the place you pick is Southern California?
Oh,
I'm like,
I got to
wow.
agree with him to a certain extent. It's definitely. I mean, I live.
I
out
wish
there.
you would come on the podcast, fucking Carrie, by the way. I'm sorry to cut you off, Carter.
No, he's right. I mean, there's nothing like I was just telling somebody today. It's always 68 to 72 by the beach.
Always.
You wait for the clouds to burn off by 1 o'clock. You go to the beach. It's like it's a vibe. There's
It is.
nothing like it. People that clown on California are probably the people that haven't been to California.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, I
or they're
totally agree.
looking at it through a political lens, which is just stupid because the beach has no politics. Right?
Yeah,
Sand
I love
between
the
the
beach.
toes and a cold beer doesn't hurt anybody in the world.
Right.
my man.
Snoop, Ocean Beach, San Diego is arguably my favorite place in the whole world.
You
Dude,
would
I
already-
almost drowned in
No, no,
San
no.
Diego one time, man. I've had
Ocean
some
Beach
crazy.
is the shit. You know what I'm talking about, Carter.
Yeah, I mean, San Diego it used to be my backyard for 7 or 8 years. I love that whole corridor. I love I mean, even up to Orange County and even up to the Bay Area up in LA. Like, it's just every little nook and cranny, little community has its different vibe, has its own little surf spots, its own little skate spots, little cool dive bars and taco stands and, rice bowl place. It's just, I love the vibe up there, but I also love the city. So, like I love Shenzhen or, Shanghai or, Hong Kong is, people are like, what's Hong Kong like? I see it in Bruce Lee movies. It's like, well, it's like New York times 10 on steroids that never closes. Like, that's what it's like. You could find trouble in every corner and everybody speaks English, so you don't have to worry
I
about it.
like it. It sounds nice.
Oh, it's you'd have so much fun there. I've seen-
I would probably get in a lot of trouble, but it does sound
That's
fun.
what happens. Like a lot of foreigners, guaylo, like white dudes, guaylo, come over there and they disappear into because it's just so debaucherous, I guess, and
Well,
accepted at so many
growing
levels.
up in Las Vegas, I'll say that there's something sexy about a 24-hour town. Like, I like being able to do anything I want and not thinking about what time it is. Like, I used to love just getting a fat burger at 4 a.m., whatever.
Same
Like, it
concept.
doesn't matter. You could go buy a tuxedo at 3 o'clock a.m., You can do anything.
Yeah, I mean, some of these, Hong Kong or Shanghai, it just does, they party all night. It goes into the morning. Like you can get caught up in that scene just like you could with, Los Angeles or I'm sure New York or anything like that. But it just seems so I'd bring people over. I'd have travel vouchers and stuff, and I'd bring people over when I went over there when I was just traveling for work. And then, I'd have guys that literally for 3 days we wouldn't see them. Like, I'd be working and doing my thing, and I'd be like, dude, where you been? Oh my God, I ended up on the hill. We were doing cocaine. I couldn't believe it. I was like, it was amazing. And you're just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, where did you get into? Oh, I was hanging out with them. I'm like, dude, no, don't hang out with those guys. Like, we don't go near those guys. So yeah, there's a whole element anywhere, but yeah, you can get lost in it pretty quick. But
Well, it's been great chopping up with you, Carter, and I think we should probably wrap this up soon.
yeah, man, we could talk all night, I'm sure.
We can. Totally non-Pickens stuff we've been talking about, which is kind of fun, though, actually. But next week, folks, don't forget to tune in at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, the same exact time as the NFL Draft. Tune in with us. We're going to have a great guest next week. I'm not going to announce it until we record. But it's a big guest, somebody I look up to in the industry of fantasy football and so on and so forth. Carter, thank you for being here. Snoop, appreciate you. You're the man, the best wingman in the business. And I want to do a cheers again, the last one, to all the people. All the great.
My well has run dry. Oh my God, there's maybe a sip left.
Yes. Here's all the people at home watching, all 2,600 plus, whatever the heck. We love you.
2,700 now.
2,700. That's pretty awesome.
Let's
Good for you
go.
guys.
God bless everybody. Love you guys. Appreciate the support. Tune in next week, and you guys have a great weekend and win some money.
Good night, everybody.
guys.
Good night, guys.
Peace.
Stay on, Carter.